right, so you guys had rested up. Everybody is fully healed, fully energized, got all your hit points back. And once again, you are fit to continue to travel north in search of said Godstone. Alrighty.
Alright. Well, go ahead.
You guys want anything? You guys anyone want to do anything very specific or whatever before you leave the quaint little village
Refill on
of Mainslark?
rations and like torches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Specifically, because I know I use those a lot. So.
All right. So you want to get like a bunch of torches, food, rations, whatever.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if somebody knocks off a couple of gold pieces, that'll cover it.
Okay, I will do that.
In fact, don't even do that. They'll because the alderman here at the village will pay for it for you. So because you did them such a good service. So there you go.
How nice.
Alrighty. So northwards, they do travel. Gathering some information in the tavern and around town before you left. North of here are a couple of other villages. You'll come across a junction. If you go left at that junction, you'll go to Grassmere, which is on the other side of this lake. Or you can continue north to the hillside town of Arishander. Arishander is definitively north, whereas Grassmere is kind of very much more to the west. But either way, if you follow the main road out of town, you will find a junction that'll allow you to go to one or the other.
Straight north.
Well, I mean, it does say north, right? So it only makes sense.
Alrighty. Yeah, they say it's basically a full day to get to the Grassmere and Arishander junction. And a couple of days north on from there to Arishander. So you're looking at about 3 days in the wilderness or following the road until you arrive at that town.
Any giant black rocks on the way?
Sure, loads of them.
Great.
Loads of them. The first day of travel is pretty much uneventful. By the time it comes to night, you've met a few random people traveling up and down the road, mostly merchants and harmless travelers. Nobody that really batted much of any attention to you. Most of them just kind of gave you guys a wide berth, or at the very most just nodded their hat and carried on going. You don't exactly look like the most approachable group. So, unless you engage with them first, most people are just going to be like,
Hood's out walking around trying to give them away.
I'm just swinging my axe in a circle, just chocolate.
Yeah, and I'm next to you, so if they get close, they're in good shot.
alrighty.
But I don't realize it.
But yeah, so close to the end of the first day, you will arrive at the Grassmere Junction. Let me go ahead and pop you there. All right. And I don't necessarily guess you guys are walking single file, so I'll kind of just...
Yeah, usually I'm out in front.
stick you guys like this. All right, yeah, so it's... it's kind of open plains. There's a scattering of trees here and there. You can see the junction up ahead. Glancing down the left-hand road, you can see in the distance the lake is still there. So obviously that is leading you back towards the huge lake that you recently traveled past. And obviously you can carry on north. There is a signpost right here. From the angle that you're at, you can see that there's definitely writing on it. You've got pretty good eyesight, so this, this sign here that's pointing to the west, you can see says Grassmere, and you can only assume that the northernmost point probably says Arishander, whereas the southernmost point is probably detailing where you just came from.
Okay.
Perfect.
I would just keep on walking past it.
Okay. I'll just keep on moving up the road.
Sure.
Okay, so as you're walking, suddenly right as you get to the main junction point, you take a couple of steps, and there's this sudden flash of light as some kind of arcane spell just went off.
I didn't do it. It was me.
You're not dazzled by the lights or anything. It's just you're suddenly very aware that it's almost like you triggered some kind of strange arcane trap or something.
Cyrano, get back.
You're none worse the wear. That being said, Cyrano, nothing bad has happened to you. You don't feel weird. You don't feel hurt, delusional. You haven't lost control of your mind, which seems to happen a lot for you.
Yes, it does.
Murdering your friends. And can we see it happening to him, or is it?
It was a very visible.
Cyrano,
Okay.
follow my finger.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I doing it?
Can you see? You look fine.
I think so.
Do you feel different? Do you want to
No?
kill? Do you want...
Do you want to stab?
No? What? Why?
A flash of light?
Okay, Cyrano.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Oh. Ignore that.
Okay.
Ignore that one, because I didn't do the right thing.
Okay. Now, none of my trap sense or anything would have...
No.
Way here? Okay.
Not with
I just wanna
this.
make sure.
Right, suddenly you as you're standing there, like wondering what happened. Suddenly you feel ah, and you glance down, and there's like a little gash has appeared on your upper right thigh, as if something very sharp just cut you. But you saw nothing.
Was that damage I just took there?
You take 1 point of damage. Yeah.
Okay. Are the lights still around me at this point?
They are slowly disappearing and kind of fading out of existence.
Okay, well once that happens, I'm gonna kind of do a little move backwards and kind of get away from the area where I just got hurt from.
Yeah, so he took a point of damage from something sharp. Obviously, that would be too minuscule for us to really notice. We just see him kind of go.
You saw him kind of grasp probably grasp the front of his leg and go ah.
Yeah, as I jump back, ow!
So I'm
What?
What is going on with
wheel
you?
my spear and like get in it.
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
crouch a little
ready.
bit.
Something just cut me, I think.
Maybe it's invisible. I'm gonna start poking the air over here.
Watch where you're swinging that.
Wait, don't just walk over there.
Shoot, you lousy invisible dogs.
Invisible dogs.
That'll tell him.
I wasn't bitten, I was slashed, I think.
Where?
Dogs with
On my leg!
daggers.
Where? We can't see anything.
Neither can I. I'm just as baffled as you.
Show us your leg, you idiot.
Right, I'm rolling this in the order that you guys are on the stream. So Snugs, Jane, Shagget, Chris Tactics.
Oh no.
Alright, Shagget. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, that definitely hits.
He's up to.
Alright, so 1. You take 1 point of damage also. Suddenly something like you felt a sharp pain in your kind of like left calf. You kind of glance down and there's just a small cut.
Okay, so we were more vigilant this time around. Is there any sense of where this came from? Any rustling of the trees or? So hard to see?
No. At this point, I mean, like you're sitting there looking at Cyrano, and then suddenly it's like, ow! Damn it! And like look down, and you've got a faint line of blood.
Okay.
All right, everybody, give me an initiative roll.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Just so we can figure out who's acting where and when.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ooh, there
Are
you
you
go.
effing kidding me?
Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna show these sweet teeth first. Yes. Yes.
Natural 20.
Put them all up.
All right, so we have Cyrano on a 29. We have Britannica on an 18. Alekma on a 14. And then Annie is on a 7. Alrighty. And let me roll for this thing.
Kuko's the worst.
Kuko's the best. You're the best. What are you talking about?
He's the worst right now.
So unsupportive.
Stopping.
And
What are you
it's
talking about?
going
He's very supportive.
there. All right. Okay. So based on the fact that that's 2 times now, you guys have had something that you were unable to see inflict minor harm on you. So Cyrano, what do you want to do? How do you want to react to this?
So what I'm going to do is, will I physically see Alekma kind of grab back at his shin, his calf, you said? Or was it a shin?
It was his calf.
His calf? Okay, I kind of want to do this like... So seeing that I got cut, I'm small, and he's big and got cut low, I'm going to kind of do this little side roll and just kind of, like slash forward with my sword.
Okay.
In the direction of where he kind of reached back from.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. So you want to kind of like roll to like here and like thrust your sword in that direction. Okay.
Yeah, just because that's what I would do, seeing that happen twice. Yep.
Alrighty. It's its turn next.
Okay.
And
So nothing. Okay.
Annie.
Oh boy.
I assume that means nothing happened.
Nope.
Nice.
Actually, okay. So no. Nothing did happen. Actually, what Annie hears like a ching as something like clinks against her like
It's on me.
her mail, but it doesn't actually get through the mail. Okay, as that's the third attack, everybody give me a listen check.
Okay. Oops, that's not that low.
16.
Okay, Alekma's got over 20, because that's what we're looking for. Okay, Alekma. And also, you're right next to Annie. You could have swore, right after you heard that chink, you heard a very, very quick and faint hee.
Don't like that.
Oh no.
Where did I hear the hee? Like
From where Annie is. Like, right where Annie is. Like, right there in front of her.
Okay,
You're like,
so
hee.
okay, I know.
Don't.
Stab it. AoE it.
No, I mean I'm gonna wait for my turn, obviously.
Britannica.
Okay, so I don't want to get hit, so I'm gonna wings out, baby, and I'm gonna start flying above, like.
All right. What's your movement rate, Airborne? Is it still 50?
Yes.
What?
You ain't gonna hit me, bitches.
All right. So you flex your arms and your arm muscles, and your huge white wings emerge. And how high do you want to go up? You can go up to 50 feet because you got 50 feet of movement.
I don't need to go that high, just above their heads, so I can see like if something's moving around.
Okay.
But
All
out
right.
of what I think might be the reach of this thing.
So you what? 10 feet up?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, Alekma's pretty tall, so I want to be out of his reach.
All right.
Can't get to me.
Hey, sure.
Well, it might climb you. I don't know what's gonna.
Well, whatever it is, apparently it's attacking people pretty low. So you're
Yeah.
being that high might not be a bad
enough.
idea. All right, Alekma.
Yeah, I am going to quickly cast Detect Magic. And basically, I gotta highlight myself. Try to detect if it's really where I heard the yee. Like if it's an invisible little person, I guess.
Okay, so you've got a
sweeping it
60-foot
around.
cone.
Yeah.
So the
But
first round, it allows you to connect, like, if there is magic, or not. Okay, now, the first thing, of course, you notice is all of you radiate a lot of magic right now, because every one of you has a reasonably powerful magical item.
Okay.
Does anybody have... let me ask you this question, because I should have asked this earlier, actually. Let me go ahead and pop this real quick. Okay. Does anybody have any actual points in spellcraft?
I think I do.
I don't think I do.
Not a lot, though.
Doesn't matter if
I
you have any.
one beautiful point in
If you have
spellcraft.
spent a point in spellcraft, I would give you a spellcraft roll whenever you saw that flash of.
I don't have a point, but I have 2 in spellcraft, but I don't have a point.
That's nice.
Natural 20! All right, well, there's a 20 for you as well.
Just a
Okay.
celebration. Yeah. Okay.
So, as you kind of, you're casting Detect Magic and going through your hand motions and stuff like that, and it suddenly dawns on you that whatever it was that exploded around Snugs felt very much like that spell. Not the same, but there was definitely something about it. It wasn't like Detect Magic where you have this cone or aura, but it was almost like kind of like a triggered detect magical thing. So maybe whatever it was that went off did so to react to the fact that you had some magic.
Like it was a trap waiting for us to trigger it, so we would know that we were there.
Possibly, yeah. But more importantly, the fact is that whatever it did so because you had magic.
Okay. Because we freaking rock. Yeah.
Rock!
Its senses are awesome.
All right. So you're going to do your detect magic aura. Yeah, you see that everybody is radiating magic, but that's all you find for now. Second round basically allows you to figure out multiple magical auras and stuff like that. Okay. Annie, do you wish to do anything?
Yes, I got my sword out and I say, "Don't worry, I have blind fight," and then I just close my eyes.
What? Annie, no!
Because even though you can fight in the dark, it's definitely better to do so.
So I just wait and hold my action
So you
until I hear,
you basically put your blast visor down and.
and if I hear something, I'm gonna go.
So you're holding your action and you're going to react if you hear something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cyrano.
So I'm gonna see that my last attack was nothing. So I'm gonna take kind of a few steps backwards, and I kind of had the same idea Annie did. Was I'm just gonna kind of get onto my knee in like this little like kneeling pose, and then just kind of close my eyes and just listen and kind of feel around me, and just wait until I hear something, if I can come around.
Okay. All right.
I know that he's going after each of us individually.
So you're doing the same thing. You're basically like trying to listen, and you're okay.
Yep.
It's going to do something,
I figured.
and that would be, ironically, number 3. That is Alekma,
God damn it.
who is not currently readying anything.
Great.
But can I? Yeah, well, that obviously.
Okay. Well, no, you're out there going. Oh. Okay.
I'm going low to the ground. I'm not going like up. It'll be weird. I was like detect magic on something small. Let's go.
All right.
God damn it.
We don't know your.
Okay. So as you're detecting magic, and you're holding your cone out, like concentrating. Once again, you feel a little bit more of a stab this time. Instead of a cut, your right calf suddenly, and
So
and now there's that. You actually definitely felt something dig in, like something impaled you. Did 2 points of damage.
Okay, so I immediately swivel with my detect magic to see if I can catch it, whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing magical nothing radiates magic. You don't see any strange little aura or anything at all.
Okay. All right. I have an idea.
Okay, Britannica, you're flying up. Now, even though you're looking down on everybody. So you see, physically, you see that Alekma suddenly got hurt. But you, even from your vantage point, you did not see anything do it. It was just as if he suddenly reached down and grabbed his own leg. I've got to change chairs. This thing is getting way too creaky.
A very creaky chair.
The creaky chair.
So seeing Annie and Cyrano try to like use their like senses to try to find this thing, I'm gonna try to do the same thing and like focus as hard as I can on what's going on down there.
Okay.
And then if you'll allow me, I have a little thing I want to try to do.
Okay, what do you want to do?
See if I can see invisible things.
Do you have that ability?
Well, I can click on it, so yes.
Okay, so you do actually have a an ability
Yes.
to see invisible.
Yes.
What?
Oh, right.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
That's
Oh,
cool.
cool. That's perfect.
Doesn't-
Yep, there it
It
is.
doesn't. There's no thing there. Wait,
Cool.
what does it mean? There's no macro for it.
Oh, well, you got to put the macro in because it's
I don't know how to do that.
It's something I need to do. I need to do it.
Z.
Okay.
Is it your
We just never have used it before, so I.
So you got lazy. Is that what you're telling me?
So let's see.
Honestly,
What tab
forgot.
is it on? Is it on your
The spells tab at the bottom. I rolled.
Oh, okay. So you actually, because you have a few you have a few basic spells, spell-like powers, right? So you're going to trigger See Invisible.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what you, in fact, you concentrate and do that. Right. Over here by this tree, you can see a teeny tiny man. He is crouched down with a dagger, and he's got one hand over his mouth like he's stifling a laugh. But to you, I mean, you can definitely see this little dude. He's sitting there. He's poised. He's waiting. He's got his dagger ready to stab. But obviously, nobody else is able to see him. They're not reacting to him in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. I'm gonna go there, over there, and I'm gonna zoom over there and try to grab that little fucker. Can I do that? Or because I did that other thing, I don't know.
You have not yet had a move action. That was a physical action, so you still have a move.
Yeah.
So you can
grab it.
zoom over there, but you couldn't technically try to grab him. But you could fly over there and be like, he's down here, or something.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna zoom over there and be like, right here, this little tiny man.
Okay.
Look.
Right. So go ahead and
Just-
move yourself where you want to be.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like right here, but above him.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you suddenly see the winged Britannica go swoop over there and like come to a fluttering hover as she's doing. She's kind of basically telling you what she just said. Alekma, do you wish to do anything based on that information?
Yes. The second she does that, I am going to cast Entangle over there.
Okay. All right.
I'm just going to sprout a bunch of shit off the ground and grab it.
Right, well, it does. Basically, it spews plants in a 40-foot radius, and Britannica won't be affected because she is airborne. Okay. However, this dude does have an ability to protect himself potentially against that, but we'll see. So let me go ahead and pop this for you real quick. Let's see. I used to have.
It's going to be big.
Yeah, Entangle's a big area.
Might even hit us, but I don't really care. Because we could just survive it,
There it is. Oh. Okay, so you're centering it here. And let's see, what's the... Oh, that's not what I want.
40-foot radius mean so
So from there, we're going down to about...
it's gonna pass us.
Oh shit.
it's going to snag... It won't snag Cyrano, but...
Perfect. I love this away.
We're gonna be in it.
Now, are you centering it on him?
honestly, Britannica, not because I can't see him.
Okay.
But where she is.
I'm right above him, so that should be it. I just didn't want to put my token on top of him.
Right. No, it's okay. I'm gonna fix it. Phew. Okay. Alrighty. Now he has what's the ability? Alright. So we need what's the
It's a big spell for a tiny man.
Alright, grasses, weeds, bushes, blah blah blah. Okay, so full round can make a decent. So it is a reflex partial. So he gets a reflex save, but if he succeeds, a partial becomes a full for him. So he has the ability because he's got one of those roguey type abilities.
Yeah,
so
I had the same one too.
Yep. So basically, he has to get a 15. As you may have guessed, this little dude is incredibly agile.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he fails! Okay, so epic.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, so Chris Tactics, suddenly you see this little tiny dude attempt to bolt. And for the split second he starts to run, you can see what appears to be like a little blur. Almost like the Flash, like, and then and he stops. At this point, he starts thrashing around, trying to tear himself out of this thing. The problem being that he needs a DC 20 to escape, or a DC 20 strength, and as quick as he is, strong he ain't. Now, you guys, as you can see, like where Britannica is, suddenly you're able to see a tiny man struggling, and for a second he like quits struggling and he disappears. But then he starts struggling again and he becomes visible. So it's like he seems to have this ability to like naturally vanish. But he's not going anywhere right now. Now, unfortunately, Alekma and Annie, you also need to make a reflex save DC 15.
Right. Okay.
Because even though it's your spell, you're not immune to its effects. Okay, so Annie, you are able to move. And you are not. So you have effectively entangled yourself.
Fucking typical. so I'm gonna try to lift my legs so as it's wrapping around me, and then once I realize it's not gonna work,
right.
I'm just gonna stand still because I don't want to show that I'm.
So Annie, you're able to move, but you're only allowed to move in it at half speed. But you can move.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Yeah, Annie. So you're actually next. What do you want to do?
Yes. So I'm going to step out from the entanglement.
Okay.
here.
So you move. You're going to use. Yeah. You move out of the mess.
So I saw the little man. Like, oh, he's so small.
But he's hard to see because it's like the entanglement is like. It's like you can see this little tiny head and these teeny tiny arms like pulling on these thick vines.
Capture him, little jaw, something.
Yeah.
He's not that small. He wouldn't fit in a jar, but he's about 2 foot tall.
Okay.
But he is very small. And he starts basically babbling. But it's almost as if he's like a pikey, because he speaks incredibly quickly. So he's like, "Let me go, what are you doing? Let me go.
That's cute. Alright, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. Cyrano. So yeah, you see suddenly this overgrowing area of vines and tendrils suddenly erupt from the ground.
Yeah, if I can see Britannica swooping into this guy and with all these vines between me, I'm just gonna wait. I'm not going in there. There's no really reason for me to. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. Cause oh, that's so far.
It's a huge area.
Yeah. Okay. So just because I'm gonna dash kind of over this way and head up here, just in case he tries to flank, gets out of it and flank out. I'm just gonna cover this side over here.
Okay. Alrighty. He is going to attempt to break free.
Okay.
And with his strength bonus, he gets a -1. So he needs a natural 20 to get out.
Ooh.
Nope. Okay, he's struggling and struggling and struggling, but he just cannot break free. He screams and squeaks and yells in protest. But that's all he can do. Britannica.
Do I take him out of there? Do I want to leave him right where he is? Okay, I'm gonna hover down a little closer to him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell at him. I'm like, "Hey, little guy, shut up! Tell us what you're doing, and we'll get you out of here. Deal?"
All right. Give me. Are you trying to persuade him, or are you trying to scare him?
More scare him.
Give me an intimidate roll.
Okay. Intimidate. Right.
Intimidate.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Seeing as he can't move, and the fact of the matter is he lives by his ability to move faster than anything else he encounters, he is totally terrified right now, because to him this is like a phobia. Him not being able to move totally lets him know how vulnerable his 2-foot little tiny dagger poking self is. So he kind of lets out a huge sigh and stops trying to pull, and he goes,
There you go. You tucker yourself out.
But I'm just trying to help my friend, and he's really hungry, and no one's taking care of him, and he needs someone to help him, and unfortunately there's nothing else going on, but I set up a trap, and no, get the magic items, and I want to take them, and I want to sell them, and I wasn't going to hurt anybody, but I want to just sell those, and I'm going to make a lot of money, and then I'll give it to him.
I just chop his head off. No. Oh my god, yeah. Could you say that maybe like 100 times slower?
I was just trying to help my friend, and he's starving, and no one knows how to look after him, and he is going to die, and I did this thing, and he cast a spell, and I was here trying to, I just wanted to take the things that you have that is magical, and give them, and I wanted to take them, and I wanted to sell them, and I was going to buy food, and I was going to give it to him and make him well, and so he wouldn't starve, and I didn't mean to hurt anybody, but I just wanted your stuff.
Okay, I think I got it. So you have a friend who's not well, right? Just nod. You don't have to say anything. Just nod.
right, Cyrano, give me a listen check.
Oh, okay. Come on, Cyrano. Better than last roll, buddy. There we go.
Okay, you hear a very faint coming from behind this tree right here.
Okay.
Like a very, very quiet, muffled cough.
I'm going to try to sneak my way over and take a look behind. I'm not just going to stomp on over.
Okay, give me a move silently.
Okay.
You don't need to hide because he's actually hiding behind the tree, so he really can't see you.
Okay.
All right, you got a 16. I'm going to go ahead and roll for his listen check.
Okay.
Nope. Okay. So let's see. While you're doing that, Annie, do you wish to do anything? Actually, I think I skipped Alekma. What is Alekma going to do?
I am absently kicking at the what's entangling me.
Okay, so you're going to try to break free still?
No, I don't want to show that I'm entangled.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like shuffling around.
So you're pretending like you're not actually entangled. You're just like chilling out.
Yeah, I belong where I am. I belong here.
Oh my
Try to
God.
play it cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I love it.
All right. Annie, what about you?
Can I hear the conversation?
Yeah, you can hear it. I mean, it's very high pitched and very fast, but you probably, you're not that far away.
I can help. I can help if someone's hurt. I can heal. Just scream that in his direction.
Yeah, it's 45 feet. I almost need to put let me put a little aura around this dude because he's
I
invisible.
don't even know where he is.
Right? Yeah, you can't even see him in there. Hold
I
on.
need to cast See Invisible again.
Yep. Let me see here. I'm gonna put a tint on him. There we go. We're just gonna put a 1 foot aura. There he is. There, he's easier to see now. Okay. Okay, yeah, so you wanna react to that. I don't want it square either. I want it circular. So you're just yelling over to him, Annie, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Right, so Cyrano, so you have successfully sneaked up to the tree.
Okay.
And you can tell that whoever this is or whatever this is right behind the tree trunk.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was trying to kind of like slowly peer around it too.
Okay, so you just want to kind of like ease and take a look and see what it is, as opposed to like...
Yes, that was my plan to do that.
Okay, so basically, tucked behind the tree, you can see what looks like a young human boy. He's probably about 14, 15 years old. He is wearing worn and tattered robes. Simple plain robe with some frayed string as a belt. He's covered in dirt. He looks very scrawny and somewhat malnutritioned. The only thing that you can see is tucked, like he has like a little soldier, like a very small shoulder bag that seems to have something very big and rectangular in it. Something kind of very, probably bookish, to be honest.
Okay. Well, okay. So I'm going to, as quickly as I can in whatever fluid motion I'm able to do, come around the corner, drawing one of my swords and just holding it like to the side of his neck.
Okay.
And just say, all right, now don't move. Everything is fine. Just don't move and no one gets hurt.
Give me an intimidate roll, and you can have a +5 on that, seeing as you are actually putting a blade to his throat.
Yeah.
He's a little boy.
Oh, hey, I'm
Steal
playing
this
around.
kid's school book bag? Like, what an asshole.
I'm just trying to de-escalate the situation here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, as soon as you do that, he immediately, like, throws his hands up and goes, "Please don't kill me!"
No one's gonna kill you. Just I wanted to make sure we've got the situation under control. Just come around the tree. Come on.
Because I kind of heard the conversation they were having.
Yeah.
Next
So you
to
want to kind of pull him out from behind the tree,
Yes,
so
I just
into
wanna
the
make sure he
open?
didn't bolt or anything got crazy. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely isn't going to try to run on you. I mean, he's just clearly a very young kid.
Okay. I'm going to look at
Annie, a little help, please.
and kind of beckon her over.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Right, the little dude is still kind of just sitting there. He'd probably be trying to bolt right now, except there's a flying thing with a massive axe hovering over his head, so he isn't that brave. So he's not going to do anything. Britannica, what do you want to do?
Muted.
Sorry, I thought I had a second more. So since I didn't get to pull it up, do I still get to see anything else? Can I look around to see if there's any other little tiny
You
men
don't see anything
hiding?
else appearing to be, as you kind of glance around, you don't see anything else like shimmering invisibly. No.
Okay. Then I'm going to come over just outside of this little traps where the little boy is and come down to the ground.
Okay.
Like, so is this the sick one?
Okay, so as soon as you fly over there and he sees you for the first time, this kid's jaw just drops open. He's like,
Yes, I know. They're amazing.
in shock. And he goes, Did you cast that spell?
What? That?
The entanglement spell. Did you do that?
No.
You're going to say yes.
I can't lie.
She wanted to lie, but
I don't gonna lie to a little boy. No, it wasn't me. It was my friend over there, Alikma.
Yes.
Right? Come
I'm
on
just,
over.
No, I'm good.
No, come on over. He's really impressed.
It's your spell. Skip through the vines.
It's okay. I'm keeping my eye on the little one. Unless he rabbits. From over here, I can see. I'm tall.
Okay. Do you wish to do anything, or are you just going to stay put, other than talk?
I'm not moving.
Okay. Well, apparently not. Annie. So, what do you wish to do, my dear?
Yep, I'm going to run over as I got called over by Cyril. Why is your sword up to him? However far I can go.
Sorry, habit.
I'm so sorry, child. As I try to hold the child. I don't know if he'll resist or not, but I try to embrace him and hug him.
Okay.
Aww.
He's not gonna hurt you, don't worry.
Wow, that's okay. We don't know what he's capable of.
So when she does that, are you withdrawing the blade? Or are you kind of keeping it pointed at him, or what are you doing, Cyrano?
Once she embraces him, I'll just kind of pull it and sheath my sword.
Okay. In that case, because he is definitely very, very scared, he kind of just grabs hold of Annie's arm, wraps his arm around it and goes,
Don't let them hurt me. I didn't mean anything by it. I didn't want to do any harm.
They won't hurt you.
Well,
We
you
just have
did.
to have a talk.
Well, yeah, your friend over here did do some harm.
Yeah, look at my leg.
Look at his leg.
Look at my leg.
But he wouldn't do that. He's nice. He finds things for me and he brings them and we sell them to survive.
Yeah, how's he find him?
He's very, very quick and can cover an incredible distance, and he just seems to have a great knack of tracking valuable things down.
He fell off the back of the carriage today?
Uh-huh. Yeah, your
But
friend's
he's totally harmless. He doesn't mean any harm. And he's so very, very small. Please don't hurt him.
He is. And that's coming from me. He's very small.
Should I keep the spell going, guys?
I think we've de-escalated things well. Small man. Small man. What is his name? I'm gonna ask the boy.
Tiny man.
Tiny man? Gerald Tiny man?
Tiny man. Yeah.
Tom Tiny man.
Tiny man? Tiny the Tiny
Okay, he
man,
says-
Tiny man?
We're just good.
Trip and hemlock.
Trip and Hemlock?
Trip and hemlock.
Trip in Hemlock.
No. Tripin Hemlock.
Troop in Hemlock. All right, Troop in Hemlock. If we let you go, we have your boy. We're here to help. Do you promise not to cut us anymore, please?
Absolutely, I would do that too. You're way too big.
All right.
You can't hide from me, so
yeah,
if you try anything funny, it's off with your little tiny head.
Please let me out.
Alekma?
Yeah.
I think the snake's in here.
We're letting Troop and Hamlet go.
Troop and Hamlet, let he go. He's gone.
All right,
Where can go?
Troop and Hamlet.
I'm getting rid of the entangled spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna casually walk over like nothing has changed.
Very cool.
It did good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, very possessive of your spells.
Okay. So Trooper in Amalok, he basically is going to incredibly quickly goes and zooms over here and almost reemerges by this tree.
Wow.
So when he moves, it is incredibly fast.
I'm jealous.
Knowing that there's physically something there as you're watching, because you have a point of reference, you can see a very faint blur. But as soon as he appears, you're noticing he's moving his feet really, really rapidly, like he's fidgeting. And he's really antsy and he's bouncing around.
So he's like Mighty Mouse.
Yeah. So the kid says, he has to do that or you can't see him. If he stands still, you don't know where he is. He just disappears. I don't know what he is. But he's my friend. His name is Trooperin.
Why is he helping you?
I'm Nayan. Nayan Vanderstel.
Hello, Nate.
Yes,
Listen,
I used to be a wizard's apprentice until he passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can you bring your friend over?
I can ask him, but I think he's somewhat scared.
Well, he should be. He attacked us.
Trooperin! They're not going to hurt you, Trooperin! Come over here. No, I'm not doing...
What's his favorite snack?
He's actually very fond of fruits and berries.
Sorted.
I know where there's this pond on a lake, and there's berries floating in it. Send him over there to get some.
So, your friend said something about you being sick. Is that true?
Well, I have a bit of a cold, but really, I'm really more hungry than sick. I haven't eaten anything for several days, and I've had little to drink except what I was able to find in an old puddle.
What are you doing out here?
God.
We were just wondering. See, I cast that spell. It's one of the only 2 or 3 spells that I know. And Trooperin said that if I cast that spell on the road, it would help him find things to sell. So I cast the spell and I hid. I didn't mean any harm to anybody. I really didn't.
So you don't have parents or anybody else you can go to anymore?
My father dropped me off at Bellandural's tower when I was 4, and I was indentured as a apprentice and servant. We came from a place at least 2 or 3 weeks away from this area. I was trying to make my way back home.
Where's home?
Well, I really don't know the name of the town. I was only 4 when I was taken away. All I remember is it was close to the ocean, so I was just following the road south.
Well, we've just come from the ocean.
A place called Shore Barrow.
Does anybody have anything maybe to drink?
So I am going to cast the beautiful Goodberry spell. And come up with 4 beautiful berries.
Okay.
And I'm going to hand
Amazing.
2 to him and then offer the other 2 from afar to Troopin Hamlet, whatever.
Okay. Well, he takes both of the berries and stuffs them in his mouth. And it takes him forever to chew them down. He's like...
So gamey.
But eventually he swallows them, and then almost immediately he's like, "Oh, I'm full. My stomach must have shrunk. I suppose with not eating for so long, all it took was 2 berries to fill my stomach. But thank you. Perhaps some water."
I have my back to the kid.
I start checking my feathers like they need to be cleaned.
I take out my
Cream them.
We have water.
and I give it to him. Like, oh, yes.
He takes it and starts guzzling it down and
right.
spilling a good amount of it. But clearly, yeah, he's incredibly thirsty.
I'm going to stoop down with my hand exposing the 2 berries.
So as you're doing that, Trooperin suddenly appears next to the signpost, and you can see him like
Yes, you can have my berries.
he wants them, but he doesn't want to come close. He's like,
Okay, so I'm going to walk over to this rock, place them down, and take several steps back.
okay, yeah, as quick as a flash, he goes, and you see him like fly over there, snatch the berries, and reappear by the signpost. And he's like, and sniffs it. And then he eats one berry, and then immediately he's like, and plops down on the stomach, on his backside with his hands on his stomach, like looking totally and utterly sated.
We have water, Annie.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the boys had water.
Oh, that's right. He is water.
Listen, we are headed north. I got a little strange question. Have you seen like a big black rock up there? Big crater.
I haven't, no.
Burning fields. No.
Burning fields? No. North, there's a town though. A few days' march northwards. It's up on a hillside, like a little fortified town called Arashanda.
That's nice.
And you didn't think to ask any of the people of that town to help you?
Yeah.
Well,
nourishment,
you see,
coin.
there was a bit of a misunderstanding.
Go figure. Did you rob them too?
No, but Triprin found some money, and he gave me the money, and I walked into the tavern, and I took out the purse, and somebody screamed, "That's my purse!" And then, before I had a chance to explain anything, they screamed for the town guards, and we had to flee. And we managed to sneak out the back and ran out down into the trees and hid. And then once it got dark, we made our escape. Obviously a complete misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm. So you can't go back there, is what you're saying.
I don't think so. I think that man, either he dropped his purse and we found it, and I would have given it back to him if I'd have realised, but he never gave us a chance to explain. Or he was lying and was just trying to take our money. Truprin says he found it in the streets.
Well, Trupin seems to find a lot of things that aren't.
Right. I think we need to talk to him. He needs... Did you get him over here, Lakma? Come on.
Not really. But he's closer. That's good.
Yeah, he's definitely within talking distance.
How did you meet this little guy? How did he start you?
Well, after I left Bellandero's tower, I originally had provisions and supplies with me, and I was following the road, but there were some rough and unpleasant, unsavory characters that approached me, and I had to flee, and I ran into the woods and I got lost. And I thought that I surely was going to perish, and then I found this tiny little man. He was trapped in a rabbit snare and screaming to get loose, so I freed him, and after that he kind of just started to follow me around, and I shared my food with him, and once we run out of food, he started to return the favor by acquiring things for me. And when there was no food to be found, he would go down to the main road and find things that travelers had dropped or lost.
Okay, that is kind of cute.
And then we would, wait for merchants to come along, and, well, we would barter with them and trade the things that we found for food and water and things like that.
Do you have anything to trade right now?
We haven't had anything for days.
What you got in that bag?
It's my book.
Yeah? I'm just curious. Maybe
trade with children?
Is it your book or is it a book he found somewhere?
No, this is my book. It was the book that Bellandaro gave me to record my arcane learnings in. I'm afraid I only apprenticed with him for about 2 years before, unfortunately, he passed away. I learned very little.
What happened to your wizard friend?
I believe he just passed away of old age in the night. I went to wake him one day and he just didn't stir. He was very old.
Okay. No further questions.
Your witness.
Anyone else?
Well, can you ask him to not stab people on the road?
Stab?
Not nice.
Well, he doesn't stab people. I'm sure.
Exhibit A, my leg!
And B, and I point to Alekma.
I point down to my.
He goes, but he wouldn't have. Are you sure it wasn't
Okay.
one of those brambles or something that?
Well, I was
Hey,
never
look-
in it.
Hey, little guy, did you do that? And I point to the little wounds on both of their legs.
He goes,
Okay, see, he's clearly lying to you.
Yes, look at him.
I know you're a kid, but like, come on.
yes, but Truprin's not mean. But perhaps one of you stepped on him or bumped into him. Maybe he thought you meant to do him harm.
Absolutely not.
We were just on our way until we were accosted, attacked, ambushed even. We're both of you, I guess.
But look at him, he's tiny. How could he possibly hurt?
Well, look how tiny the cut is. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Well,
But he's so fast, he could just slash us over and over till we're dead.
Death by 1,000 cuts. One of my special moves.
but obviously, if he would have really meant to do you harm, he could have done much worse.
No, that's not the point. The point is, if you're trying to go live your life, little boy, in a new town, you can't keep having a friend who steals things from people and doesn't even try to hide it. You guys are going to get in trouble everywhere you go. This is not
Everywhere
going to
you
get
go.
any better for you. You might want to tell him to cool it a little bit.
All of what Britannica said. Also, what worse can he do? I really want to know what this little guy is capable of.
Well, I've never seen him do anything except
But you just said
he's
he could do much
incredibly
worse.
quick and has very keen senses. But beyond that, I've never seen him do anything else.
Please, can you coax him over? I want to say hello, get to know him.
Little rat.
He says he's very skittish. I very much doubt he's going to come any closer than he is.
You can at least admit you know why now, right?
Well, I'll definitely have words with him and try to get to the bottom of it. I mean, I absolutely agree. If he is somehow stealing these things, that won't do. That won't do at all.
I mean, you got to do what you do, but I'm just telling you, it's not going to look good for you in the next town. He's just going to steal and steal and steal, and then you're going to get killed.
No, we need to take care of this now. It's not going to stop, everyone. You realize this, right?
I don't really care what they do, honestly. He won't even give me his book.
Yes, we do. Well, Cyrano's right. We do need to clear this up.
We need to clear this up right now.
Has Trupin said anything about how long he owes you for you helping him?
No.
Or is it like a lifetime thing? Well, can you ask?
I just assumed that with him being so small and me being so much bigger, I can kind of help protect him, and he keeps us both alive.
Has he ever shown interest in your book?
Not that I know of. No, he's never even asked to see it.
Have you shown it to him?
When I sit and study it in the mornings to try to, imprint my mind with the magics on the pages, he's seen me study. But he hasn't really shown much interest in it.
Well, okay. How about this? We're in good standing with the town to the south, right? Everyone?
Absolutely.
Yes,
I mean, the guy paid for our stuff. If that's not
right.
a screaming endorsement, I don't know what is. What if you go there? We'll write a note or something saying to help you get back on your feet. That way you don't have to steal. That way you don't have to harm people. You can continue your studies and you can live life.
That would be incredibly kind of you, and then me and Truprin could find a proper home.
Yes. We'll also write, though, that if anybody gets slashed somehow, that you will be destroyed.
Just destroyed?
Destroyed.
That seems a bit harsh.
To be so harsh.
Well, he's a kid. That's what you do. You say crazy things to kids. You say these big superlatives. You know what I mean? It's like, you'll be grounded forever. You know what I mean? It scares them.
Yeah, but grounded forever sounds better than destroyed. I would just
Okay. Well,
in children.
it's like wagging.
Clearly,
the finger.
Cyrano has never been a parent, so it's...
You'll be
Cyrano's parents.
destroyed. Socially, I mean. How's that? Better?
Yeah.
Your social life will be destroyed. You'll be cancelled.
Well,
Child.
I mean, if we can make an honest living in this town, there's no reason for Troopin to steal, right?
Question.
Yes.
Right, Troopin?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
That's a bad egg, guys.
Guys, can I level with you a little bit?
Please.
Do we really want this little man who can go really quickly with little stabby knives in the town with my two precious swan children?
Yeah, think what he'll try to sell those for.
Well, he might try to stab them.
Why would you stab a swan?
Hey, swans
Try
are
to
good
stab
eating.
me.
Yeah, because you had stuff.
But he'll be able to
They
tell
are stuff, though.
they're the magic item. He'll try to steal
Right.
them.
Well, stealing and stabbing are two different things. Okay, that I grant you.
Yeah.
Well, we could just,
I mean, I was ready from the get. The minute he opened his mouth, I was ready to do
I mean,
that.
we could. The boy, no, obviously, but him,
Yeah.
You know, the boy could hear us. I'm pretty sure.
that's fine. I'm trying to scare him straight.
The boy doesn't need to be scared straight. The little one.
What if he's pretending to not be
Right.
so oblivious to
Maybe
stealing?
the little one can hear
We've
us.
fallen for this before. He might be a wizard that just comes and kills us all in like 2 minutes.
He's not going to kill us. We're far
Well,
more
I
capable
have
than that.
an aura of good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Annie, see?
You have to take that aura.
Keep that aura.
I
Keep
am
it.
curious. No, I don't even know. Yeah. Is it the...
What do you have?
I have... Sorry, what's happening in here? The aura of good is the power of a paladin's aura of good. See, the detect good spell is equal to a paladin level. So I have a level 4. I just can detect good, so I'm just gonna detect good on first on the boy.
Okay.
And then over in the little man's area. See if they're good.
See if they're good little boys and girls.
Yeah.
Check your list.
Yeah, make sure. Okay, yeah, so basically, let's see. Okay, so you said you've got it at
Level 4.
level 4. Okay, yeah, so you can concentrate. It has a range of 60 feet. And again, it's like a cone, so you do the same thing as detect magic, really. You just like focus and you can sense bad things. So you're going to cast it on the boy. So the first thing, it allows you to sense the presence of good. Let's see. Who is good? What is good? What is good and
This is where
kind?
we find out Cyrano's secretly super evil, right?
I know. Don't look over here. Take it that way.
Well, technically, Cyrano is kind of good.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And so is Alekma, but those are the only two in that like immediate vicinity that are what you would consider
Okay.
good.
So when it goes over
And
Britannica, it doesn't light up.
no, but Britannica is not good
I know.
as
I
such.
just
There
don't-
is no radiance of good coming from
I
her.
have no radiance of good. I could have told you that. You don't need her to cast that spell.
That's all it kind of does the first round. In the second round, you can sense the number of evil auras, but you can see them all. and then you can kind of sense the power of such things. But bottom line is, yeah, there's little good in the world right now.
Okay.
So yeah, nope. Only Alekma and Cyrano have a shred of pure goodness in them.
I'm very surprised.
Now, bear in mind, of course, that doesn't mean that the others are evil. It just means they're not necessarily full of goody-goodiness.
Right.
Right?
I'm radiating.
It's a couple of dweebs.
Okay.
So do you tell us about it, or?
No, I'm just gonna, while I scan him.
That's where you find out that most of Cyrano's idle boasts
look at
about
you,
murdering and
Tanica.
killing are all bullshit. He doesn't do it really.
I just look at you, Britannica, and go,
I just beam, assuming that you saw the most good. Wonderful things. Yes.
yeah.
Well, should we kill him, or?
No. We should just let them go.
But
That's what I
if
wanted
you'd like to
do.
write that letter, what's the name of the town?
I don't know if we should write the letter, but we can give you a couple gold.
Wait, so we're just letting them go to do this again?
No, we won't do anything bad. And now I
Well, you
realise
didn't
that
even have your
Trooperin is
friend
misguided with his actions. He only means well. He doesn't realise, I'm sure.
He realizes.
Sure he does. So we're just gonna let them go, is what you're saying?
Well, he won't come over here, and he's quick.
So why don't we use
What you doing with your head?
as a sort of a bait?
That sounds evil.
No, it doesn't. It's not real.
If you let us go, I promise. I promise that I won't let Trooperin steal or hurt anybody. I really didn't realise what he was doing. I honestly thought he was finding these things. I had no idea that he was
Okay.
trying to take things from other people.
Troopin, if we gave you guys gold, would that stop you from stealing and hurting people?
How much gold?
Yo, really?
Guys, now we're just as naive as the little boy.
No,
Yes.
we're not.
We are compliant in funding terrorists.
Why do you steal? Do you enjoy it, don't you, little man?
Why?
No. But how else are we supposed to get things to buy food? People won't give me money.
Well, you live in a forest, right? I mean, there's plenty of food out there.
Well, yes, but I don't like raw food. I can kill rabbits, but I don't want to eat them raw.
That's why you cook them.
But we don't have any way to cook them.
There's wood.
But how do you light the wood? We don't have any fire.
Why don't you get a job or something?
Get your ass to work, Scrounger.
I mean, you got some skills.
I mean, you could run really, really quickly over the branches.
You could be a messenger.
Yeah.
No. If you let us
messenger
go,
is a good
we'll
idea.
go to the town south, as you suggested, and we'll find a way to find a meaningful. That's a great. That's a very good point. Perhaps.
Yeah, because I'm sure they know the town is there already. It's not like we told them.
Do you understand? Do you hear what they said, Trooper? And you could maybe become a messenger or a scout, because you can travel incredibly fast and cover very big distances very, very quickly. You could earn an honest living, and I could perhaps. I mean, I have little magic knowledge, but I have a few spells that maybe I can somehow use to find meaningful employment, and I don't know, I could even get a job as a stable hand.
While they're
There you
talking, I'm going to try to sneak casting Detect Evil just to do the opposite on the little man.
Okay, so you have Detect Evil as well? Oh yeah, he's an evil little son of a bitch.
Shit.
He reeks of evil. He is nasty.
And the boy?
Nasty. No, the boy is not evil.
Okay, cool.
But the little dude, he is filthy. It's like the radiance is so strong it makes you feel sick.
Okay. So So while they're having a conversation, I'm gonna just lean over to Cyrano. Just go. The little one's evil.
Yeah, I know that.
We need to get him.
Get him? What do you mean by get him?
I don't know.
You want me to? You want me to? Really? You're condoning this?
No, I was just kidding.
Oh, damn. I was about to do it. Well, what do you want to do? Really, we need to get this boy away from this. That's what we need to do. We don't have to kill him. We just need to separate these two.
Yes. Boys, you want to come with us to the next town? We'll tell them everything, and it was.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, we could do that. Trooperin, we could go with them, Trooperin.
Yeah, he's not coming.
But why?
He's a very bad influence on you.
It's just a misunderstanding, I'm sure.
It's not a misunderstanding. I'm sure.
He's manipulating you.
Yes.
But he's brought me food and things to sell, and without him I would have died. I'd have died in the woods. Surely that's not the act of an evil person.
Let me ask you, how hungry are you?
Now, not at all. I'm rather stuffed.
We fed you.
I was very hungry.
So is he keeping enough food in your belly just to keep you hungry enough to manipulate you, perhaps?
Well, I mean, it's true. We've had very slim pickings the last few days, but
He's so fast he could get you anything you wanted.
That's right.
From any table. Cooked meal straight from someone's house.
Does he ever seem hungry?
Yeah.
but that would be stealing.
He does have little arms, though. Probably hard to lift.
He could take the pie right off that windshield, right off the shield.
Absolutely steal a
windshield.
pie off a
You know what I mean.
windshield.
Of a windshield.
Of a
You know,
windshield.
That whole gag.
Because, you know,
Nothing
that's where you
cools
leave your
like
pies to
that.
cool, is on the windshield.
Windshield.
That windowsill, the windshield, yes.
And then you go for a cruise, and then your pie's cool.
Yeah.
You know, your
that's
road pie.
You know,
I mean, how many times have you turned on the window washers only to see, like, smeared jelly and cherries going all across, or caramelized apple?
So
well, you have two choices, little boy. You can ditch him, or we turn you both in.
But turn us in for what? I haven't done anything.
So I'm gonna. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab the little boy by the scruff of his neck.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of give him a little like a shake. And I'm gonna say, "All right, that's it. Looks like we're turning you in. Here we go." And I want to see what Trooper's reaction is.
Okay, Trooper reaction turns around and flees the opposite direction as fast as his legs will carry
Damn
him.
it.
And I'm gonna let go and
He's
say,
like, "Poof," and gone.
There you go.
Trooper!
Just as I expected.
Trooper!
Yep. Yeah, he gone.
You've scared him away.
what is this, a 20th century?
You've scared away my
God.
friend.
He go.
Oh, I didn't scare him.
Stay to help you.
He abandoned you. Just as I suspected.
Hard to learn so young. Okay, I understand that you're probably feeling rejected.
But again, he
Maybe a little bit.
helped
hungry.
me. He got me food. He found me things to trade with merchants on this long journey.
Maybe he was just bored.
Yeah, sometimes people do things that seem nice to you, but really that they're doing something for themselves that you don't understand.
Yes,
They're being selfish.
think of your relationship like a game. He's cheating at the game.
Well,
by
look at that.
pretending to play along with a bigger goal later on.
Well said, Alekma.
Well,
Give me a diplomacy roll.
Love your games.
Give me a diplomacy roll with your game speech.
This is my game theory speech. I have to do well. I'm a Goliath. Oh my god, my diplomacy is amazing. Here we go. Yes.
12. Okay, he's... I mean, I understand what you're saying, but what would have been his motives to stick around? He could have just, after I let him loose from the rabbit trap, he could have just left. What?
Maybe he saw potential with your magical ability and was going to use it later on for an evil end. As you got older and more powerful, he would have used your friendship to make you do something.
I have but 3 spells in my spell book, none of which are particularly powerful. I'm afraid with nobody else to learn from, I have no more skill potential than I have now.
Well, maybe what we have here is what the end game was. Did you ever see how much he sold the items for?
No, he gave them to me, and I was able to trade them on the road with merchants.
That's it.
Right.
Maybe
so he
he
could have
was-
been pawning other items off somewhere else, hoarding them for himself. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe he was just using you as the puppet in case you got caught. You would go down for it, and he would just take the money.
That was the next thing I was thinking.
Surely not.
Okay. Well,
Well,
I mean,
you're
he-
incorrect.
I mean, really, he looks... I always heard that elves were honest and good-hearted folk, and he looks just like a very, very, very small elf with his small pointy ears and sharp facial features.
Well, she's our expert on who's good and who's bad, and she says,
He
But-
was
So
and she talks to gods.
the worst
she talks
of
to
the
gods.
worst.
So,
Do you talk to gods?
I do talk to gods.
yeah.
One god.
Well, still.
He doesn't need to know that.
But what shall I
One
do
is
now?
fine, I think.
What shall I do now? Should I travel south, or should I
Well,
go west?
you had a goal in mind. You want to find your home, right? And your home is south?
Well, all I know is I remember growing up by water. And I don't know whether it's... I mean, there's a lake not too far over there. And it would seem that this road travels to a village by that lake. So I don't know if that's where I came from, or...
Well, we shouldn't let him travel by himself, everyone. Trooper will just swoop back in and manipulate him again, to be honest.
I mean, for all we know, he just ran over there and is watching us.
Right.
Yeah, he could be standing right next. We wouldn't even know.
Either way, we should get him set up somewhere to start him on the right path.
Are we
Well,
gonna go?
come with us then. We're going to the next town up.
I'm gonna hold up. I'm gonna be like, give me a minute, and I'm gonna go over here, get into my little. I'm cross my legs, sit down, and I'm gonna basically pray to my goddess Alona, and use my special ability to see if taking him with us is a good idea. Will be beneficial to all of us.
Okay, so you're basically going to use your, like, augury type ability?
Yeah.
Get you
There,
have that thing sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
there you go.
Yeah, this is like a natural thing that he can do because he's special.
Because I'm special.
Cool.
Okay. Let's have a look, shall we? So, what are you specifically wanting to know the answer of? Like, what are you wanting to know?
I kind of want to. I mean, I really want to see if we have seen the last of Troopin, although I'm kind of sure that's not the case. So it's really, would it be beneficial to everybody if we take him north with us, this little boy, and get him situated, like set him up, explain a misunderstanding, explain the danger of Troopin, and then basically drop him off with some gold? Because we have a lot of gold that I don't really care for or need. So I would be happy to donate to the little boy charity, which sounds weird.
Only when you say it like that.
So,
I don't remember his name.
but like, so the way augury works, you kind of have to basically
Yeah,
decide on a particular action
right.
and
Take
whether
the
it will
boy
bring
with us.
positive or negative results in the immediate future.
Yeah, take him with us north.
So you want to know if taking the kid north potentially is a good or bad thing to do.
I'm pretty sure it could be both. Yeah, but I guess that's yes. I know there's semantics involved, but I can't
Okay.
think of- it's too much to think about. My brain.
Outlook unclear.
Roll again.
Or it's like
Ask again later.
both good and bad
Yeah.
will come of this.
Okay, yeah, you are not getting a result from that at all. It's too undecided. There's too many variables.
So I'm gonna return and be like, I don't know.
Computer says no.
Thanks, Alekma.
Yeah, cool.
Great.
Well, okay, here's the thing, though. So, really, it comes down to what would help us sleep better at night, and I think getting him settled, at least to start. Then it's up to the fates and whatever, blah blah blah. But at least we can do that.
Yeah, I definitely saw some good in you, Cyrano.
Oh, really?
I like your thinking.
Better beat that out of myself.
Yeah, so I'll be right back too.
Let me go just stab a few children.
Yes.
We'll start with this one.
He grabs the kid by the mouth, shanks
borrow
him.
him real quick?
What about now?
Oh, he ran off. Whoops.
Two
yes.
problems.
Yeah, we should get him set up. Just getting away from
Well, it's
that.
only like a couple of hours walk to the immediate west to take him. If you
And
want
that's
to
the
take
one
him to
near water,
Grassmere,
right?
that'd be the closest place. Or
he
you
said
can
he said he
drag
wanted to
him
be
a
near
couple of
water.
days north with you to Arishander.
If we go
No.
back up, isn't that the town he already got kicked out of? Though?
Arishander North, which is where you're heading to.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where
But if
he
we
got
go-
run out of.
Yeah,
If
we
we-
go west.
Yes, because he said he wanted to be near water. So
Yeah.
Okay, so you just basically want to take him over to the small village that's kind of to the west. It's on the edge of the lake. So the big lake that you guys were on earlier, you were in the kind of southeastern corner of that, and the village is kind of at the northwestern end. It's almost completely on the opposite side of the lake from where you were. So, yeah, you guys can take him. Do you want to drag him into the town or do anything, or you just want to get him to the town and basically
No.
like, you're on your fucking own now, kid?
I have a plan, so we're gonna take him into town.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Get your kid, free kid.
Anybody lost a small child?
Anybody need a little kid?
I was gonna say something real bad, but I'm so glad I think before I speak.
Don't do it.
Okay, so what's your plan once you get him? By the time you get him to Grassmere, it's pretty late. You know, as you walk to the small village, Grassmere is not as big as the town that you came from. It's a lot smaller, so it really is just a small, kind of little fishing village just sitting there on the bank of the lake. As you approach, you can just see like little flickering candle lights in no more than maybe a dozen thatched roof houses.
Okay, so I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is go into the bar or tavern or the inn.
Okay. There's not really an inn or a tavern there as such. There is like a small shack that you can hear some music being played out of it. And you can see that there is a group of people in there and they're all basically dancing around, and there's a couple of people, one's kind of playing a fiddle, another one's playing like a lute, another one's tapping away on a drum. And there's a couple of kegs of beer up on a table, and they're just walking over and helping themselves and drinking it. So it's not really a tavern so much as more just a gathering place for the village.
Okay, so I'm gonna enter and clear my throat, try to get everyone's attention.
Okay, considering you're 7 foot plus, kind of a weird color, when you come hulking in out of the dark, before you even clear your throat, most people have, they're like,
A little record stop.
and everybody kind of just looks and sees what, like, everyone's like laughing, and then when they realize the music stops, they're all like, huh? And then they all have a very concerned look on their face as you stand there in the doorway.
Hi, my name is Olekma Valukanathi. I'm traveling with some friends north.
A couple of the larger, heavier set fishermen kind of get up out of their chairs and just kind of stand there with their hands on their side, like trying to look somewhat intimidating.
Yeah, okay, I don't really care about that.
It's more posturing than anything else.
I'm assuming I'm the only one who entered this place. You guys are with the kid outside. You're welcome to come in. I mean,
I don't know. I stayed behind.
I think I followed behind you. I don't think I would have.
With your wings, because that would be.
No, I'll put the wings away.
Okay. My friend Britannica and myself have come across an orphan boy, and he's in need of a home. And I was hoping we could, or I guess I could, pay one of you fine families to raise him as your own. And good health, good everything.
They all kind of start looking around and start mumbling. At which point an older woman says, "Well, where is the boy?"
Okay, so I'm gonna turn, lower my head out the door frame, and be like, "What is your name, by the way? I forget. What is his name?"
Oh, Nayan. My name is Nayan.
Nayan. Well, come in here. Come in.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
He kind of nervously walks inside the watering hole, or whatever you want to call it, the gathering spot.
This is Nayan, everybody. He's a good boy.
You could change
some
it if you don't
talent.
like it.
He hasn't had it long. He's not that attached.
It's like when you adopt a dog.
We haven't been yelling it at him very often,
It's a
so
placeholder.
It's a suggested name. Change it to whatever you need.
But he's a good boy. Has some talent to him, and would make for a nice addition to this quaint little place.
okay. Well, she says, "Well, for Ollidamara's sake, bring him in. Come here, boy." And she comes over and grabs him and hustles him in. "Oh, look at you filthy child." And at which point she gets a piece of her apron and spits on it and starts to rub on his face and starts to wash some of the dirt away, which he's protesting to try to stop her doing. "So he's an orphan, you said?
Yes.
Whatever happened to your parents, boy?" "I don't rightly know, ma'am. I was dropped off at the Wizard, Bell and Darrell's when I was 4 years old by my father. I haven't seen my family since then. Well, how old are you?" "Think I'm maybe 15. "So you haven't seen your family for 11 years? Oh, well, it's a good thing you did dropping him off here at Grassmere. We'll take care of the boy. We'll make sure he's fed and given some tender care."
Do you mind if I speak to you? We speak to you outside. Want to disclose some things, just and also pay you.
"Not at all. Cyril, come take care of the boy."
Agreed. Here's all the fine print.
And an elderly man kind of comes over and takes the boy up to the bar and goes, "Let's get him something to drink. Do you drink beer, boy?" And at which point she walks outside with
You
you.
made a bad choice.
So I go outside with everybody and be like, "I'm gonna hand over 200 gold."
200.
Whoa, what?
Right, she looks at you,
We.
looks at you completely dumbfounded.
Look, this is just making noise in my pockets. I really don't need the gold. I mean, live off the land.
I do.
I'll take it.
I'll raise that kid.
It's making my pockets lighter. Anyway, the boy made a friend with some impish little guy named Troopin. What was it? Troopin Hamlet something?
Yes.
Hamlet.
He's a nasty little bugger who could go quite quickly and has a knack for stabbing and stealing. But he's very tiny, so it's like little cuts, like little bee stings.
And fast. You can't.
We just
I
want
see.
you to know if the little boy starts talking about his friend has returned or is back, you have a problem, and it's that little guy. He's a little guy, though. Very,
So now I'm starting to understand why the money is involved.
Well, you got birdie fishermen in. Well, that won't really do anything.
How much exactly is in that purse?
It was 200 gold pieces.
How about
Yes.
what?
Can you say that again?
It's 200 gold pieces. You can take over the whole town
200 gold pieces to look after the boy.
and raise him.
That's not a problem. We could raise him 100 times over with that amount of money.
There you go.
Well, what's the catch? There has to be a catch.
Well, he has some magical talent. A few spells.
What do you mean he's a witch?
Well, no, he was an apprentice to a wizard.
I see.
He knew some.
Well, I don't quite rightly hold with magic and things like that I don't understand.
Well, he doesn't understand much either. He said so himself.
But 200 gold is an awful lot of money.
The only other catch is the trooping little man. If you see him.
I see.
But that's it. I mean, he's a nuisance at
Well, we'll deal with that if it comes down to it. You have yourself a deal. We'll take care of him.
I'm going to shake her hands.
Okay.
Thank you.
She takes the money and shh. Best not say anything to anybody else about this, though. And she stuffs it down into her cleavage in her big, over puffy apron and dress.
It's like Little John from Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's probably what she kind of does look like.
Oh my god.
Yes, but no, I promise you, I make we'll raise the boy right, and we'll make sure that he's well taken care of. And if this little fellow that you're talking about comes around, well, we'll take care of him too.
Yeah, basically, if you start hearing the villagers say that little things are going missing, or they get little cuts,
I see.
that's a sign that you got an infestation of trooping.
Right. Got an infestation of trooplins, you call them.
Which one man?
Got a case of the trooplins.
Goes to troopins, yes.
Oh, fine. 200 gold is an awful lot of gold, and, well, we can afford to, hire somebody to take care of the problem should it arise. Well, did you wish to say your goodbyes, or,
I'm good.
Or perhaps, you'd like to stay in the barn until the morning?
We should probably get going. It's.
Oh, fair enough.
Thank you, though.
Well, what a fortuitous day it was to, meet you and, stumble across this poor young man that's in desperate need of some, proper raising.
Anything else,
It
guys?
was all a setup.
It was the most elaborate con job ever. You just got fleeced for 200 gold.
Detect evil on her.
No.
So I'm gonna start walking away. Like I'm done. Like,
Okay.
You know, wash my hands. Kind of like, feels good. I'm gonna look at everybody. Like,
Got rid of the kid.
good. That works. As we're walking back east.
Letma, that was the most selfless thing I've ever witnessed. And I'm gonna go in and hug you.
Aww.
That was so much money just to...
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I wish you would have maybe
Just-
asked us about that.
She might raise him.
It's my
Leshma
money.
has
Maybe it's
no
cozy.
sense of worth the value of money at all, does he?
I bet she would have done it for at least 50 or something. Could've- maybe
Five.
So
5 gold. Yeah, you could just start low, work your way up.
Yeah, we have to work
You know
in the
how to
negotiation.
haggle?
Don't you want to haggle?
what is gold to me? I don't. You don't seem to understand it. It means nothing to me.
Then just give it to us every time you get it. This is. I'll hold on to it for you.
After all, so you really want to have an extra 800 gold pieces weighing you down while you
Yes.
fly and fight.
Yes.
As you
Yes,
fly,
thank you.
as you fly around, dropping gold pieces from your purse as you fly.
I would spend it.
You're like the gold
Don't
fairy.
worry about that.
All I know is that I am 200 gold pieces lighter, and I feel less tired.
I usually just take a nap if I'm tired.
I usually buy a room at an inn if I'm tired.
Yeah, for what? A silver a night? I mean, what are you?
They might have a premium room. We have been hoofing it out here on nothing. We could have been living.
Think what you could. Yeah, think what you could. What hospitality you could get at a tavern for 200 gold.
I would have ordered everything off the menu if I had known. You just wanted to burn some cash, like.
I now own this tavern. Thank you for the bar. Appreciate it.
I can't adventure. I have to run a business now.
All right. Okay. So you guys, you're gonna make it back. I mean, by the time you make it back to the junction, I mean it is the early wee hours of the morning. So, what you wanna do?
Probably continue north finally, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just gonna carry on traveling all into the night.
Yeah, we're gonna push it. We don't want to
make up some time.
Yeah,
Okay.
we haven't exhausted ourselves in any way, so I think we'd be okay there.
Yeah, I mean, you've been traveling. You left that morning, and you've been traveling all day. So, I mean, you can push it on for a few hours. I mean, if you want to travel all the way on till morning, you can. But by then, you'll probably all be a little bit weary.
Well, I don't want to stay at the junction where the little guy was.
No, yeah.
So you want to get at least an hour or two up the road? Okay.
No.
And then, just kind of get off the road and rest, or what's your game plan?
Yeah. Get off the road, rest, take a
make
shift.
camp.
Okay, set up watches and stuff like that. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's not a particularly overly dangerous area, other than unless you happen to run into nasty little dudes that are trying to scam people. Yeah, another couple of seemingly uneventful days pass, and finally, you start to find that the terrain seems to become a little bit more hilly as you're kind of walking into an expanse of rolling hills. There are small crops of trees here, there, and everywhere. Not really a forest or a wood, but you know, you find little clusters of trees, maybe 15 or 20 trees in their own little areas. Eventually, however, you can see mid-afternoon what appears to be kind of like a large bluff where a lot of the soil has either fallen away or been cut away on purpose. You can see at the top of that, in areas you can see some palisade fences, but you can also see some buildings up there, and a road that kind of is going all the way up, and you can see at the top of the hill where the road goes between, it seems to be like two little watchtowers. Let me go ahead and move you over to here, and then we will take a short break, because it'll be a good time to break before we get any further. And there you go. Alright, so as you're approaching that afternoon, there are large wooden gates, which are kind of closed. They're not really fortified, they're more just... I mean, they'd stop an average person from getting in or out, but they're sturdy, but they're not, like, designed to withstand a siege or anything like that. You can see the two little watchtowers peering up above them. The other thing you notice is, as you get closer, as you work your way up the hill, to the right, over here, there appears to be these huge posts that are set up on the bank with long wooden arms that come out, almost kind of like what you'd expect maybe to find on a gallows. Hanging from them, suspended over the drop itself, are metal cages, and there are people in those cages.
What?
Looking very glum. Obviously, if they was to fall from here, they'd be dropping probably about 150 feet, and it wouldn't be a healthy drop for anybody. Yeah, all four of them are currently full of individuals. Each one has got somebody in it, like just either curled up and just sitting there, or holding onto the bars and looking out. It's a good distance to them, so you can't really make them out clearly. But as I said, it's about mid-afternoon as you're arriving towards that large gate itself. As you get close, you hear somebody yelling from the watchtower on the right-hand side. Identify yourselves, please! And we will stop right there and take a quick break, because now would be a good time before we go any further. So we'll do a fast Q&A while we have a quick break if anybody's got anything. So we'll do the usual. Myself, Cyrano, and Annie will disappear just for a second. You see like a dark cave entrance, tangled and overgrown, with like dim, flickering torchlight glimmering from within. Then a tall knight in shining plate mail, carrying a shield with a huge white heart emblem on the shield, like a coat of arms, comes into view. He's also carrying a very familiar looking scimitar in his left hand. He approaches the entrance, and with him is a band of armored men with a robed man standing at the rear. They charge inside and are confronted by a horde of disease-ridden individuals covered in boils, wearing matching robes, almost like some kind of sick, twisted cult. The knight and his retinue do battle with these vile individuals and slay them all. Next, you see a great keep with banners depicting the same white heart flying from the walls, but it's under siege by many, many more of these strange, disease-ridden cultists. And with them is an army of filthy-looking mercenaries. The cultists breach through the gates, and the mercenaries begin to slaughter everybody they come across. Now, once again, you see the knight and his men. They're inside a room or a chamber of a large tower, standing in front of a reinforced wooden door, as if they're about to make their last stand. Behind them, you see a huge, heavy wooden chair that has been moved to reveal a hidden passageway behind the chair. Suddenly the door breaks, and the mercenaries charge in. The knight and his men-at-arms battle valiantly against them. The robed man, who now is hurling a lightning bolt as they charge through the doors, is cut down. As they make their final stand, the cultists and the mercenaries begin to overwhelm them. The leader comes rushing in, and the knight charges at him, grabs him, and in the scuffle, both the knight and the leader of the cultists tumble out of the open window of the tower, plummeting down many floors below. As they do so, the scimitar slips from his hand and splashes in the moat that surrounds the castle below. At that point, you wake up, drenched in sweat, almost as if you had been splashed by the water that was hurled from the moat after the scimitar hit the shimmering samite.
Did you know the music ended right when it was supposed to?
Perfect.
Holy shit.
Okay, yep, so that's, you kind of have that strange dream.
So as we approach the gate to this place, and then we see, the four...
Oh, by the way, I had a dream last night.
Yeah, when we see the four dangling people hanging, I do that. Oh, I had a weird nightmare. I didn't see those, but there was like...
Yeah, what you saw was more like an actual castle, like a keep. This is really more of a town on a hill.
I just realized I had a...
It's definitely not the same
dream
place.
last night. Didn't you all have weird dreams recently, too?
No.
Well, yes, but
I wasn't sleeping. It's like a vision.
Yeah, I was knocked out cold.
well, that's sleeping, I guess.
It's so clear to me, this white heart.
Huh?
Huh? What?
Go on. Annie.
I don't want to tumble down and die in a moat.
I don't think any of us do.
Me neither.
Okay, that's good.
Plan.
I saw my weapon, though. I want to tell you that. In my
You saw
dream.
your...
Your weapon? You mean
I
your
did.
sword?
Yes.
Okay.
Are
It
you-
was incredible, and this man was wielding it. This, well, I don't know, man, but somebody in shiny armor. Just just battling, and I'm gonna start doing the moves. Anyway.
Okay.
Hello, we are adventurers.
We're a local LARP troop. Okay, yeah, so when he's like, identify yourselves, please.
Adventurers.
Hello.
Adventurers? Can you be more specific? What sort of adventuring are you doing?
I'm gonna look to my crew.
What brings you to Arishander? You just passing through? You merchants? What's the deal?
Both.
Oh,
Not much. We're not merchants.
No, what?
We're passing through.
Yes.
Oh, you see?
Probably will stay a night.
Just the four of you, is it?
Just the four of us.
Fair enough. Hold on a second. And you see him go to the back of the little watchtower and climb down the ladder. Then you hear some noise and some clattering of steel, and then he starts to heave open one of the huge gates, and a gentleman in like a white shirt approaches with almost like a laborer's apron. He reaches into the laborer's apron and pulls out what appears to be a wooden board with a sheet of parchment attached to it. He dips a quill into some ink and says, for the record, I'm required to take your names, just so we know who passed through.
May I ask why? We
Oh,
don't
just
have to do that
it's just the
anyway.
law here. You see, we have to have identities of everybody that travels in. As you can see, this is a very secure town. We take our safety very, very seriously here. This is not the most not the safest of regions. There are many hills hereby, and some ruins and things like that. And unfortunately, those sort of places bring unsavory minions.
Do you mean the people up there in those cages?
Oh, good gracious me, no. Those are criminals. Those are people that have wronged the law. Got on the wrong side of the justice system.
Interesting.
So they're up there being, out of the way. Till their punishment has been, served in full.
Who's in charge here?
Oh, we have a small town council of, smart, wealthy, elderly, advanced, aged individuals that oversee things, as it were. But you can find all that out inside if you can just give me some names.
Okay, I'm Annie.
Annie, and let's see, orange cape. That's a fine suit of armor you have there. Is that made of steel? Is that plate armor? Yes.
Thank you.
Very nice. Is that a symbol of who is that there? Can I see this?
Mr. Myris.
Oh yes, sir. Oh, follower of Myris. Well, I'm sure you're going to cause us no trouble at all. Excellent. And what about you, my dear?
Brit.
Brit. Okay. Let's see. Is that animal furs that you're wearing, or what is that?
Why do you have to get down everything we're wearing? This is so strange.
No, it's because should anybody say, oh, this person did this crime or did this or that, or was yes, they came in yesterday at noonish, and this one answers to this name. It's just so that we have some semblance of propriety to know who you are.
Very organized.
Okay, just kind of pose for him. I look
Okay,
like
he
this.
scribbles it down like a description. What are you? 7'3", 7'2"? You're very tall.
And your height.
I see. We'll just say, what should we say? What sounds good? 7'2", 7'3",
I don't know. Let me check my stat sheet. 7'2".
7'2". You know what?
Last I checked, which was right this minute.
Yes, no, I'll just go ahead and record this.
That's a huge bitch.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And what about you, sir? And he is looking directly at Cyrano.
Hi, Cyrano Diam.
What was that again? You said it rather far.
Cyrano Diam.
Cyrano Diam.
Yes.
Okay, that's what are you, 5'2", maybe?
5'8".
Oh, 5'8", yes, okay, very, very good.
On a good day.
Selling clothing. Okay, excellent. And finally, your colossal friend here. What is your name, sir?
Would you want my birth name or my honorific name?
Perhaps both. Perhaps both. Let's have both, yes.
Well, my birth name is Olekma Valu Kanathi.
Alekma Valu Kanathi?
Kanathi.
Kanathi, okay, excellent, yes.
My honorific is Eoa Koa Koa Magamule Oviomu.
I see. So
exactly
Alekma
how
it
it
is,
sounds.
excellent. Either that or we'll just call you Maggie Moo. Maggie Moo, there we go.
Maggie Moo.
Maggie Moo. And what are you, 8 foot tall?
7'7".
7. Okay, excellent. I don't mean to be rude, but of what ilk are you? What's a better word to say it? From what racial bloodline do you hail?
Well, my
You don't need to
people.
write all that down. I thought
You
you
could
just
opt not to say.
Oh,
I'm nothing to hide.
I'd rather not just write tall grey man.
My people, we call ourselves Goliaths.
Goliaths. Okay, excellent. Yes, that's all we need. Welcome to Arishanda. Don't steal anything, don't stab anybody, don't cause any trouble, stay away and don't get yourselves put in one of the cages, and enjoy your stay. We do have a curfew. Once it gets dark, you won't be allowed in or out, just so you know.
Wait, what?
Once it's dark, we don't allow anybody, the gates are not opened, we don't allow anybody in or out after dark.
Did something happen recently?
No, nothing specific. Just as I said, situated hereabouts, there are a lot of hills, lots of caverns and ruins and things that attract unsavory minions and creatures. So we, for everybody's safety, we keep the gates firmly locked at night time.
Okay.
But by all means, there's plenty of stores here if you're interested in perusing the wares. We have a fine tavern, the Hilltop Tavern. Just follow the main road, and right there when you find the first right, you'll see it directly in front of you. The fare is very, very good. And comfortable beds, by all means.
We're gonna be able to leave, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Just either before it gets dark, or you'll have to wait till the morning. But beyond that,
Hey.
oh yes, no one's going to keep you here against your will. We're a friendly town here in Arishanda. We try to make sure everybody is well taken care of.
Just hanging people right out front isn't quite a friendly sign.
There is a pond here in town that actually is furnished with natural spring water, so the water is very fresh.
Do you have like a
Cute.
list of crimes or a cheat sheet of things we shouldn't do to get up in there?
Well, you know, most of your general do's and don'ts. Thievery, don't do that. Murdery, another one, don't do that. Probably best
Any
not
weird
to
birds?
start any fights with people, otherwise you'll probably end up getting a day or two in the cage to cool off.
What's the role with being drunk in public?
Drunk in public. Technically, there's no law against being drunk in public. It's more what you do while you're drunk that potentially could get you into trouble.
Do you have any weird birds or anything protected we need to be worried about?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Just making sure. No priceless, precious,
Priceless birds? No,
endangered
not that I can think of.
species. I don't want to step on any wrong
just,
point. Okay.
Simple village or town here, with farming and stuff like that. Nothing too outlandish. I know it seems a little daunting because of the thoroughness of our entry policies, but as you can look around and see, from the south you're well protected because well, let's be honest, not many things can climb a 150-foot cliff. And the rest of the town, be it east, west, or north, is protected by a large reinforced palisade wall. Keeps the goblins out and things like that.
Well, great. Thank you.
I guess the only other question I have is have you heard anything about a godstone or a blackstone or something of a religious sacred nature?
You mean obsidian?
Oh, obsidian, yes.
Yes, I believe you can find some obsidian sometimes in the mountains. Some volcanic rock, as it were.
Well, anything of a religious importance, like...
No, not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, thank you.
We don't have a church or anything here. We have a couple of shrines to a few of the local predominant religions, if you wish to make offerings, but no actual church that's manned by priesthoods.
What are the shrines of? Who are they to?
I believe we have well, there's one that nobody seems to frequent it anymore, but we did have one to Obad High. There's one to Elona here. There's one to Pelor, and there's another to St. Cuthbert.
Obad High. Thank you.
Well, we'll be on way to the tavern this way.
Oh yes, just follow the main road, and as I say, when you come to the first junction on your right, it's directly there in front of you. Can't miss it.
Right. Okay.
The Hilltop Tavern you'll be looking for.
Thank you.
Oh, not at all. Enjoy your stay.
Head in.
Oh, one more. Philip, there is also a shrine to Blered as well.
Who?
You know, the god of mining and smithing and metalling and things.
Cool. Big here, huh?
Not really. We used to have a mining community, but hasn't been really productive for at least the last couple of years. So, but people still travel through and drop a coin in the proverbial bowl every great once in a while.
Okay. Once we're like a healthy distance from him, headed into the town, I'm going to. That was weird, right? Was it just me? That was really strange.
What?
Everything, just
The way he just like
everything
kept
we saw and all the stuff
passing
he
over
wrote
the people
down.
hanging outside. Oh yes, absolutely. But as long as we just stay on our best behavior, we should be fine.
Just keep our heads low and
Yes.
don't
Yes.
cause any trouble.
No.
Something just doesn't.
The little building that you're passing to your right is like a little reinforced structure, and there are 3 or 4 men wearing studded leather. Each one is carrying like a short spear and a shield. They're all wearing a matching uniform. They would appear to be some form of militia or constabulary or something like that. But they're not particularly intimidating. When you walk by, one of them just like waves a hand up at you and nods and doesn't accost you in any way.
Yeah, I think if we're only gonna be here for a little while. We're just passing through. It should be fine.
Right. Just want to make sure we don't do something that we don't realize is wrong.
Which is why I asked if there was any protected species we need to worry about.
Are we gonna kill something
Call
anyways?
Britannica.
I mean, Elegma almost got us in trouble with just having feathers. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything weird
That
we
was
should
not-
know about.
That was not my doing. That was
I know, but we didn't know. Had we known going into the town, maybe you would have hid your spear somewhere.
I would never hand this spear to anyone else. It's mine. I don't know what
I
it
know,
does,
I'm
but
just
it's definitely
saying.
mine.
Let me see that.
I don't-
No. Shoot.
Well done.
We're not.
Well, that was a test.
Okay.
Let's just go into the tavern.
All right, okay.
Wait, actually,
Okay.
What?
Slam my
Rewind.
hand on the door and I look back.
I'm gonna look kind of towards those posts with the people hanging.
All the way over here. Okay.
Like I'm looking that direction.
Uh-huh.
We could go see what's going on over there.
Annie, no.
What do you mean? They're in prison.
Yeah, but it's inhumane.
They probably stole stuff.
They have a great
They
view.
should go into a regular prison.
Well, what's so inhumane about this other than just being they're above ground instead of below ground? What's the difference?
It's so much more dangerous.
Well, they have a great view.
We have a great view.
Fresh air.
If they're maybe they're hiding something, and I was thinking back to my dream of all the people with the boils and stuff. What if they're like diseased or something, and that's why?
Well, then thank God they're out there.
Yeah, but why? But why?
Because they're. What do you mean? Why they're diseased?
Why would they hang diseased people up there?
Where would you like them to be?
I don't know.
This is what
Bathing in the
Corona.
freshwater pond.
This is our Corona solution, okay, guys? Just going to see the-
Maybe they're just quarantined for now.
Okay.
You really do care about everyone. Huh, Annie?
Is that a surprise?
Well, we were told that they're hardened criminals in those cages, getting their justice. That's fine. I mean, let them get their justice.
Criminals
Well, it
deserve
depends on
justice.
what they consider a criminal. If someone steals a loaf of bread and then puts them in there for a year, then I don't think it's right.
So you want to ask them if they are unfairly processed?
No, I'll find out more maybe from someone in this tavern. Let's go.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I opened the door.
Annie's very curious about the to make sure that they're not wrongfully arrested or. Alrighty.
She works for Project Innocence.
There's no justice like Annie justice.
Right.
Seriously.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hello. All these
Alright.
characters.
They're so pretty.
Let's have a look here.
An egg up there?
I see an egg.
An egg?
I see an egg. I
Just
see
an egg.
Chicken?
those
All right. Okay.
Fruit Loops over there. Are that Fruit Loops?
So yeah, there's big wooden double doors ahead of you. As I said, the sign outside says it is the Hilltop Tavern, which is not really surprising considering this entire town is on top of a fucking hill. Okay.
I opened the door.
Alrighty.
Here we are.
And I step aside so everyone can enter before me.
Oh.
Wow.
you.
First impressions, you know.
All right. Okay, so you step in. The first thing you notice is that the immediate area that you walk in is kind of narrow and cramped. The bar area is to the left. To the right of the bar, there are big open doors of where a waft of illustrious smells comes drifting out from various different things, from cooked meats, fresh vegetables, fresh baked bread. To the right is where all the tables are, but you also notice that just about all of the tables are empty. However, every single stool is occupied up at the bar, as a whole bunch of the town locals are all just gathering there and chit-chatting as the barman, who is a fairly young, middle-aged, probably early 30s perhaps, short dark hair. He's wearing like a tight-fitting tanned red leather waistcoat. As he pours a drink and hands it to his patron, everybody seems to be pretty much in good spirits. But periodically, they keep kind of glancing back to the other side of the room in this direction, as if they're waiting for something or aware of something.
Could you move over, Britt? I'm still in the door.
Oh, sorry. I'll just push Annie aside.
I slam into the wall.
I'm just kind of like, I hate bars like this.
Poor design. See, nobody even wants to sit over here.
Is there a reason for this? Why no
I
one's
don't
sitting
know.
over here?
And I'm just gonna like plop down.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go and find yourself a stool and sit down at one of the tables. Okay.
Squish around over here. Oh. No, it's mine.
Yeah, snooze you lose.
No, I'm on the bottom. You get off my lap.
No. I need to be able to see everything.
Perhaps we could choose a place not right in the entrance of this tavern.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of
Alekima doesn't want the drafty chair.
No one likes
Every
the
time,
drafty chair.
no one likes the drafty chair. Every time the door is open.
All right, I'm going to this
I'll get up
one.
and move.
Okay.
They watch as
hate
we
being
all
by
try
the
to
door.
sit down on one table. Get
It's-
up
it's-
and move.
I know this feeling well. The crowded spaces, you just kind of sitting. I know how close I am to this table, but I can't move it. Like, I hate it. So
Alrighty. Okay. Well, you sit down. It's kind of warm in here. There's no main fireplace that's lit in the bar area, but with the doors wide open to the kitchen, the heat is just wafting in from there, as well as the delicious smells. After a few minutes, nobody, however, has come to your table to check on you or take an order or anything like that. You're pretty much just sitting there at an empty table.
Giving this place a 1-star review on Fantasy Yelp.
Fantasy Yelp.
Something just occurred to me. This is a very small place. Do they have rooms? Because
There is a stairwell directly by the side of you. And as you approached, it looked like it was a very tall building, probably at least 3 or 4 stories.
Oh, you want to go upstairs?
well, no, I want to make sure there's actually a place we could stay indoors when the curfew happens. Because what if there isn't and we have to leave, but it's curfew, so we have to stay, but there's no room.
If someone would come over here, we could ask, but are you going to go muscle up to the bar?
So,
I'll take care of that.
yeah, you're tiny. Go
Good
ahead.
plan.
Yeah. I'm gonna squeeze in between these two people here.
All right. Okay, he pours his last drink and glances over and goes, "Oh, hello there, sir. What can I get you?"
Hi, is there waitresses or servers?
Think she's taking care of the private chamber right now. But I'll happily take an order for you and give it to the kitchen if you're hungry.
Sure. What's the private chamber?
It's just it's a room where some of the councilmen sometimes go, or you can pay to hold any kind of meeting that you want to have outside of, public viewing, as it were.
Oh. Okay. Sure.
I had this idea once. It was all because somebody said that once we were going to have a conference there. I thought, we could call it a conference room, but that's a very stupid thing to sort of call a room.
like
So
that.
it's the
Yeah.
private
That'll never
room.
catch on.
No, absolutely not. Sure. Do you have a menu or something? Or?
We don't have a menu here, but I can tell you the steaks are very good. Sausage, the cook makes a fantastic set of sausages. Roasted chickens. We got some pies. All kinds of vegetables. We can fry some eggs if you want them, or boil them, whatever. Really, just.
All right, I'm gonna look back at the table and make.
Hey, they got sausages and steaks and eggs and
Steak! I want steak and eggs.
okay.
Anyone else?
Yes,
Steak and eggs for all around.
sure.
Oh, steak and eggs for everybody then, sir. Is that
And
what?
drinks.
Four orders?
4 orders. Yeah. Okay.
4 orders
what-
of steak and eggs. Fine.
And
Okay.
Drinks! And drinks!
Yes.
We've got wine. We've got some light. We've got some ale. We've got some bitter. We've got
Wine, ale,
got some rum down here and some whiskey
Rum.
as well.
whiskey.
Whiskey!
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Kelly.
What she
else?
said.
So
Sure.
Wow,
Yes.
what a meal! Whiskey, steak, and eggs. All right.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Part of a well-balanced diet.
so
here.
one
Okay.
whiskey then. What else?
Well, yeah.
Gotta feed these
So
bones.
4 orders of each.
And room.
4 orders of each. So 4 whiskeys, 4 steak and eggs.
Yeah. And do you have any rooms available as well, sir?
Oh yes, I think we've still got 3 or 4 available left.
We'll take those as well.
Okay. You want all? Let me just check.
All right.
And he starts counting keys. He goes, "There's actually 5 rooms available. So how many do you want?"
Just 4, please.
All right, here you go. Hand you 4 keys.
All right.
And each one's got like a little wooden key tag on it, with basically 2 numbers, and it's either the first number is either 2, 3. It's either 2, 3, or 4, and then the next number is so you got 2, 2 or 2, 3 or 2, 4. It's basically the floor and then the room number. Yep.
Got it. Okay.
This is all right. So let's see. 4 rooms, 4 steak and eggs. We'll be looking at 2 gold, 8 silver, then, please, sir.
All right. I'll go ahead and fork that over.
Okay. Would you be anybody wanting a hot bath?
Oh, yes.
Hot bath is 3 copper.
Sure. One for everyone. Four hot baths, please.
Okay, so 1 silver, 2 copper then for that.
Okay.
And I'll have some hot water brought up.
All right. Wonderful.
Well, yes, just whenever I'll go ahead and get your order in. Here, let me go ahead and so he pours you 4 shots of whiskey and
right.
slides them to you, and he goes, and then he goes to this end and leans in and yells through the open door, "I need 4 orders of steak and eggs, love." In fact, we'll bring them to your table as soon as they're ready.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to turn around and head back to the table.
Okay.
All right. So we each have our own room, everyone.
Right. Periodically, however, as you guys are all sitting there, the volume coming through these sets of doors keeps going up. And you can hear it, like, periodically it just bursts into yelling and shouting. And you sort of... Up to then, it's really just a quiet, low murmur. And then you suddenly hear, like... "That's preposterous!" And then suddenly... And people start kind of yelling and grumbling. And it's about now that you start to realize why everybody is staying away from these doors. Shortly after that, the door opens as a woman with kind of like barbed brown hair comes out carrying a tray that is loaded down with empty beer mugs and empty plates. As she opens those doors, you can suddenly hear a lot more clearer. The first thing you notice is those doors and the room itself seem to be incredibly well insulated. Surprisingly so, considering that this is just a wooden building. But once she opens the doors to come out, the volume suddenly becomes much, much louder and much, much clearer. As you hear somebody say, "Something must be done! It's bad enough that they led good men from this township astray, but for such a despicable deed..." And at this point, she starts to let the door go as she begins to walk back towards the bar. The door slowly begins to close
I'm
itself.
gonna right there. I'm gonna stick my foot out.
Okay, so you want to stick your foot in the door to stop it closing?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, then you can have the rest of the conversation. So you hear,
Yep.
"So who's going to stop him then? You, Marin?" He goes, "Well, if Sir Bellinor were... But Sir Bellinor is not here, is he?" He goes, At that point he goes, "Look, we have..." Hello?
You see the foot move, and then the door closes. And I saw it go sit back up.
Okay, the door opens, and peering out of it, like, just opens a part way. A well-dressed man with thick black hair and a thick black bushy beard peers out and starts looking.
I'm gonna turn in my chair and awkwardly stare back at him as he's looking around.
I kick him under the table.
Okay, with that, he says, realizing that nobody else is actually close to the door, except for you 4, he goes, "Were you eavesdropping?"
No. Sorry if it would appear that way, but I'm a big guy, and this spear is twice the length of a normal bat.
We were eavesdropping. I heard you, and I think I have a problem, and I was very
I enjoy no, you're so honest. Don't turn me into anything unnatural.
Oh Lord.
I'm here, that
He says,
assistance.
"Who are you anyway?
Oh, persistence.
Adventurous.
You're not local. Adventurers.
huh?
What's an adventurer?"
Yeah.
Yes,
Ask
please.
myself
Wait a
that every
second.
morning.
You're not meeting anybody here, are you? You're not arranging to meet up with anybody.
No.
Wasn't planning on meeting another couple of individuals here.
No, but sounds like you're waiting for somebody else.
No, we're not waiting for somebody else. We're well, never mind. If you're not here to meet a couple of individuals, then I'm sure that things are. You say you're adventurers. What? I mean, that's it. And then you hear from inside. Who are you talking to? He goes, "Ach." So elaborate. By adventurers, do you mean tomb robbers, grave robbers?
What? No?
No, of course not.
We tend to help out.
You didn't hear anybody offering a reward for anybody that might be willing to help kick in the door of an old tomb and maybe ransack it.
No.
Are you sure?
Who's doing that?
Would you like us to?
No.
Absolutely not. No.
Then no.
But if you want, I mean.
So you have a
Just
someone is going around exhuming graves or tombs or crypts or something?
No. It's town business. You don't need to worry about it.
No, come on.
We tend to help out towns. We
You-
helped out the last town that we were in.
You're amongst friends here,
And I'm gonna slide my whiskey shot over to him.
please.
Don't mind if I do. He
Loosen
drinks
up
it
a
and
bit.
puts it back. Ah, delicious.
What? Very good. You were saying something about exhuming a problem?
Would you perhaps be mercenaries then? Is that what you mean by adventurers?
Sure, that's a good way to look at it,
of a
yes.
sort. Yeah.
We help where help is needed.
For money, of course.
Well, of course.
Something,
I see.
Information.
What's the name?
Sure. There's it's not necessarily monetary, but there's, a
No,
scratch your back type situation.
Does the name? As he kind of looks to his left, looks to his right. Perhaps you should step inside.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Into the special room, my friends. Come on.
Oh,
Yes.
goody.
Is he wearing a business suit?
God, I hope so.
Please.
Yes, he's wearing a business suit. No, he's wearing like a black waistcoat with like a light blue puffed shirt.
I'm gonna take a seat right at the table.
You're clearly one of the spokespeople.
Stand awkwardly in the corner.
I'm gonna stand behind like I'm a bodyguard.
All right, he looks at you and he goes, my name is Mr. Bayers. This individual to my left is Marin. We were just in the middle of discussing something you probably overheard.
Well, we couldn't help but overhear. Yes, you're quite boisterous, you know.
It's also a very small tavern.
Yes.
Oh, this room is quite quiet. Have any of you heard the name Tobin Ronson or Saul Varick?
No, I don't think so.
As he says that, this individual with the blonde hair is kind of like sitting with his hand under his chin, and with very kind of sharp, keen-looking eyes, he's staring, and his eyes are darting across your faces like one to the other. He seems specifically focusing on the two of you that are sitting, but his eyes do keep darting up and looking at Alekma and also at Britannica as she stands kind of hovering behind you two.
I'm gonna say, why would we know this name?
Well, I'm just curious.
Yeah, where would we have heard it from?
With that, the individual that he described as Marin says, well, they were hiring people here in town for a rather ridiculous sum of money, and we perhaps thought that maybe the word had gotten out and you had come in search of that sort of employment.
Afraid we were not in the know for that one.
Nice. The blonde-haired man, he looks at you and he goes, as he kind of points taking his finger off his chin, just kind of pointing without moving his hand directly at Annie. He goes, "Who do you follow?"
Goddess Myris.
Myris. Curious. Oh, go ahead.
Why?
And the others kind of paused to look at him as he said that, and then they almost like waited to see if he said anything else, and then he's like, no, carry on. He goes, well, no doubt you're familiar with, Sir Arnathor, that used to, live in the keep to the north east before it was burned.
Sir who?
Sir Arnathor.
Arnathor.
Yes, where the hell are you from that you don't know who Sir Arnathor is?
Yes,
We're from Arconis.
As in, across the great ocean?
Yes.
All of you. You're all from there?
Yes.
Oh, carry on. Well, Sir Arnathor was a landed gentleman that used to be in charge of this region. That was his, we were his vassals, as it were. He was a knight of Rao. His castle was besieged by Durgis Vane, a priest of Incabulus. Filthy, disease-worshipping priest. After Sir Arnathor destroyed his cult, his family were rushed to safety, but he and his trusted allies, a men-at-arms, defended the castle to their last before being slain. His family had him buried in a tomb here, not too far to the northwest, with those that stood bravely at his side. Well, for nigh on 20 years they have been resting in peace. But these two individuals, this Tobin Ronson and Saul Varick, came to town, initially under the guise of hiring men to help bring a damaged caravan of merchant goods here to town. Only we found out from one person that had more of a conscience than a greedy mind that was not in fact the truth at all. He was hiring men to assist in locating and robbing Sir Arnathor's tomb. Well, desecrating a tomb of somebody so famed and great is, vile to say the least. Unfortunately, seeing as they made off with most of the most capable men here in town, there's not a whole lot that we've been able to do to stop them. They left out early this morning. I don't suppose in your mercenary capacity you might like to go and apprehend them and stop them from doing so?
I am suddenly just kind of staring off, like at the wall, just looking like this.
So, who has knowledge? Who has any points in knowledge religion?
I do.
Okay, then yeah. Raoul's holy symbol is a big white heart.
Yeah. Hence me staring at the wall, looking like this.
Yes. Maybe we could come to some sort of an agreement. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Oh, you did it!
Well,
Couldn't help it.
we're allowed one a stream. One per stream. That was the one. No more.
Too easy.
It's called what? Raoul's. I'm trying to hear what you're saying correctly.
Rao is the name of the god.
Oh,
R-A-O, Rao.
okay, got Raoul. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
You'll take what?
We'll go find them. Yes.
Really?
Find them.
Well, that was easy. Rao
Yes,
is the
what?
god of peace, reason, and serenity, and empathy.
Eyes are gonna dart over to Cyrano. We'll take it.
Well, we'll have to hammer out some terms first, I'm sure, but as you can see, we're eager to get the job done.
Just tell me where.
Well, we do have to, make a living after all.
Yes,
right?
hammer out the details.
We
How
got
much-
an eager.
How much were they
eager
paying?
Annie.
How much were they paying the grave robbers?
Well, that should have been the first sign that obviously they were doing far more than just helping to put a few wagon wheels back on some carts and wagons. I believe they were paying 20 gold crowns a head.
Okay.
They convinced at least half a dozen or more of our most able-bodied to go with them.
So how about 15 for each of us? Sounds fair.
As he glances around the table, they all start nodding and they're going, "Oh, that sounds very fair, yes."
Great.
Oh,
Why are those
60
people
gold then.
hanging, why are those people hanging in cages?
Oh, well, you see, for the more skullduggerous amongst our citizenry or visitors, should they commit certain crimes and be found guilty, then they're given a stead visit in one of the, well, cages as you like to call them.
I don't like it.
Well, I understand, but you have to realize, having such a visible spectacle of punishment, there's a lot to deter people from committing crimes. After all, when you came into town and saw that, obviously you were concerned, which is exactly the reason that we have them on display as they are. Don't worry, they're fed and given a drink twice a day.
It's just
They're not left there to starve
go
and
on about
pass away.
negative and positive reinforcement. I just think this sends the wrong.
Well,
message.
I'm afraid some people cannot be positively reinforced. Some people have to learn the hard way.
So, what did we say? Like 25 gold each or something?
I believe 15 was what was
At least
discussed.
15. Should be an easy, quick job, no problem. In and out, get us paid.
Did he not say that there were 15 or 20 men?
I thought he said half a dozen.
Yes. No, I said
okay.
the individuals came and they managed to convince at least half a dozen men to go with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, math was never my strong suit.
So they're doing it for 20. We're giving them
I
the good
know.
guy. We're giving them the good guy discount at 15,
Good guys discount.
and we'll be fine. We'll be in and out lickety split, no problem.
Yes, please. When can we get started?
Well, they've already got quite a few hours ahead of you, so I would suggest you probably, the longer you wait, the more likely they are to have kicked in the door and robbed the place blind.
And where is this place exactly, so we know exactly where to go?
Well, from here, if you head out the northern gate, you'll be about 2.5 miles to the northwest through the hills. I can, I'm sure I can find somebody to at least act as guides to get you there. You'll not have a problem finding your way back.
Great. Thank you.
And
Suppose we could just get going now, huh?
Well, that would be probably advisable. The quicker you go, the quicker you're likely to apprehend them.
if we were to finish the job and it was late, we can't re-enter this town, right? You said a curfew.
Ah, well, under normal circumstances, no. But we can for sure make sure that your identities are known to the gate guards and perhaps come up with an appropriate response to a question that they would be able to ask you, and you could return the correct answer, letting them know that it was in fact you.
No,
And
not this again.
Oh,
The password boss. Never done well with it.
Always
you
our
always forget
undoing.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, or any other form of You
How
know,
about just an official piece of paper or something?
yeah, we could do that. Yeah, perhaps if it were something that bore the 4 councilmen's signatures. There, yes, that'll be appropriate.
Okay.
Just don't lose it.
Sure.
Password and a piece of paper, just in case.
And a secret handshake.
So we have to remember all 3.
And 20 gold to pay the guards.
And bribery.
Yeah, after we forget all 3 of those things.
Okay then, I guess, Annie, if you want to leave now, we should go.
Okay.
I'll just get that piece of paper from you.
All right. Well, yep. He scribbles out something and passes it around, and they all sign it.
I'm gonna snag the piece of paper. Be like, okay, let's go.
Right. The blonde-haired guy points his finger directly at Britannica, and he goes, "What are you?"
Me?
You.
Just a regular old fighter lady. At your service, my liege.
Okay. You just really.
Uh-huh.
Oh, carry on.
You got it, bub.
Okay. Which seemed a little odd that he doesn't ask your Goliath friend that question.
Well, I'm nothing special. I don't have weight.
Just big and grey.
Just being great.
Okay, they hand you the piece of paper. This is, yep. Go stop the robbing of the tomb and, you'll get paid.
Okay. And I'm gonna quickly get up.
Oh, incidentally, you do understand that you're being paid to stop people robbing the tomb?
Yes.
What my friend is trying to say is that means that you yourselves won't be removing any items from the tomb.
Well, of course.
Of course not.
Bad karma, that would be. Very, very bad.
What's supposed to be in there?
Well, in theory, the resting corpse of Sir Arnathor and his closest retinue.
I'm gonna shift uncomfortably and put my hand on my scimitar. Be like, okay, goodbye. Let's go, everyone, quickly.
So, okay.
Okay. Off we go. Thank you for the opportunity. We won't let you down, gentlemen.
As you leave, you can feel the blonde-haired man's eyes just like boring holes into your back, like as he's scowling and staring at you all as you leave.
Yeah, I'm the last. I shuffle awkwardly out, close the door behind me.
Okay. Well, as you walk out, you can see that there's already plates of steak and eggs laying on the table,
Wait.
steaming hot.
I gotta hold on.
All right.
I'm taking a steak and handing it.
Running out the door holding a 16-ounce T-bone.
I am shoveling that in my face.
Slurp a couple of fried
Chuck it
eggs
back.
up.
Yep. Oh yeah, I do that. Absolutely. I don't let that go to waste.
I gotta get my protein.
You're a growing girl. A growing 7'6" girl.
As soon as anyone comes out, I go, this is it.
All right.
That was my dream. That was my dream.
What are you talking about?
Sir Arnathor in the siege in the
Slow down, you're talking like that little tiny man.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Remember I said I had dreams? It was of the fight of Sir Arnathor, the person we're trying to save from being grave robbed, and
Okay.
he had the scimitar that I have. And there's a white heart in my dream. Listen. Oh no, I'm a little concerned now, because...
Did you just talk yourself out of this?
Well,
No.
continue. I think I know where this is going, but
said
continue.
that if don't steal anything, he's gonna think I stole his soul.
Well, it's like when you buy something in a store and you decide to eat it or drink it before you leave. You let them know you've already purchased it, right?
So I should go show him my soul?
Yes. Maybe just say, hey, I already have these weapons.
That's gonna
I didn't steal this.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's not a good idea, because for all they know, we could have come from the grave robbing, and now we're pretending.
I don't know
Well,
why I have this.
so-
Well, for how vigilant they were with name taking, I'm sure that they would have gotten name
Yeah.
descriptions of some other people.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. The guards took inventory of everything we had, right?
Well,
So
not
it comes
the
out of
weapon.
orange cloak.
I mean, she had the weapon sheath when they took the name, so...
Yeah.
How many other 7 and 8 foot people do you think came strolling through here?
But we're not the ones that are going to be accused of stealing something.
Okay.
Not this time.
The issue is that when we come back successful, if we come back successful,
You're gonna
and
have
We
it.
will come back successfully.
So what
Right.
should I do?
Maybe you hide it.
Or just don't
don't
draw
want
your
to
weapon
leave.
in town.
They're gonna ask when they don't see a sword if they indeed are looking for one.
They lost it.
I don't know.
Say we
Why would they ask if they don't find a sword? You just keep it sheathed, they won't see it.
That's true.
They didn't say anything already. We were in there.
Annie, you think that they know that sword's in there?
Well, in my dream, this man was holding it. I don't know why it was found in the Valley of Lost Souls, and I don't know why I have it. But somehow if it wasn't buried with him, I don't know. Maybe it was never buried with him, and it's gonna be fine. But just some concerns I'm listing out before we do this. And I'm very excited to do this. Don't get me wrong.
No, I understand your concern. It is valid. Well, I just say we just
See what happens.
see what happens. You know?
At worst case scenario, you spend a day or two out overlooking the cliff.
Electma will toss berries up to you. You'll
Yes,
be fine.
you'll be fine.
Fine. Let's do it.
All right. Okay.
We're gonna head over.
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna head out the. So we're gonna head out of town to the north.
Northwest through the hills. 2.5 miles.
Get your orienteering maps out and your compasses. And
Yep.
I just take my phone out and
Google it.
Text your friends while
use
not
the
looking up.
GPS locator, the compass.
Nearest tomb.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 6 of these tombs. It's a franchise. Also, a coupon pops up. 50% off a burial. Okay. So you're just going to head out of the gates and head in that direction.
Yes.
Okay. Someone give me a survival skill roll.
Ooh, I think I should. Unless someone really wants to, because I feel like they
Thanks.
do well.
I could do
no.
it.
Wait.
Okay, so you're gonna.
Wait.
So you're not gonna give it to the druid who has a
Yeah, right.
really high survival roll?
I want to take it from you.
Oh my god! I rolled
Who are you, Leaf?
Look, I rolled a 1, but I got a 14.
Well,
so-
fortunately, there's no crit fumbles or crit successes
God.
on skills. That's only in
God.
combat. So he's still, any which way you look at it, he still gets a 14. Okay.
Cocky.
So you are able to kind of follow the natural pathways that people have made
But
through
barely.
through the woods. But it's not a quick thing. I mean, there's a lot of times when he stops and goes,
Huh.
that what that way. Okay. But doing your best to follow the trodden down grass, and the fact that there's areas where critters and stuff just seem not to be, which would indicate that maybe noisy things have gone through here recently. You follow your way through the hills. Eventually, ahead of you, you can see. I'm going to set this before. This is a dynamic lighting map. So you guys are going to want to turn off the stream. Or turn off, not the stream, but the vision.
Done.
And I can. There we go. I can assist with that anyway, so you won't see that much. All right. Okay. By the time you get there, it is dark because you travel. You arrived in town mid-afternoon, whatever, and then you traipse there, so it's just starting to get dark. However, as you get to the overgrown area to this stone tomb, the main door, is off its hinges. It would appear that the tomb robbers have already made their way inside.
Great.
And apparently, there's a tavern in there.
I'm not
Yay.
on the map yet, but
Me neither.
Nope. You're about to be. So I wanted to make sure you had time to.
without hesitation, I would say, "Let's go!" And
Poof.
I would bound into the tomb.
I get to see
castle,
more
whatever it is.
than they do, right?
Well, you have. Let's see.
I get to see more, right?
Just want to
Yeah,
make sure.
I'm making
that
sure
hasn't
that
happened
everybody's
before.
vision. So currently, it is dark
Want
and
much.
nobody has any form of light, except for with the moon being slightly up. Britannica can see
I can see 60 feet.
Yeah.
pretty well in this sort of weather. So everybody else, though, you are just staring at a pitch black open entryway. So, do any of you want to illuminate the area in any way, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely am on my spear.
Okay, so you're casting a light spell.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to give you 40 minutes of illumination. Illumination. Okay. There we go. Hold on. And all players will see. There you
Ooh,
go.
that's better. Ooh, that's creepy. Okay.
So now, you've illuminated that area. So if you're new to the stream and you don't know what dynamic lighting is on this program that we use, pretty much what it does is our players only get to see what their actual token is physically able to see. So let me see. Did I do that right? Let me measure your distance. Hold on.
It's 20 and 20, right?
Yeah, I need to give you another 10 of dull. So there we go. There you go.
Okay.
Alrighty. And that's the perfect place for us to stop tonight. Of course it is. So,
You son of a bee!
you son of a bitch. Okay, I'm gonna just dump you there for now. All right, yeah, that's definitely a good stopping point. We're past our normal time anyway. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there.
When I'm not playing a tree-hugging druid on how Reroll, I'm Shagget. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Shagget, where I stream casually, or on Twitter, if you can figure this out, at @eneb_convos. How's that for laziest outro ever? My ass sass. See you guys.
Jane? Jane, what are you doing? You gotta record your outro. Jane? She's dead.
Hi! Jane's dead, but it's me, Jane the Spooky Ghost. You can follow me on my spooky adventures at Jane on Twitch with a 0. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later when you're dead. Please.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, the Snuggler. Oh man, is it my third campaign already? If you guys do want to follow me, I'm pretty active on Twitter at MattySweetTweet. And if this didn't scratch your D&D itch, Chris Tassix and I have a new podcast coming out. You can find out more information about that if you go to www.newcritsontheblock.com. Jane put it right there for everyone to see. We hope you guys go and check it out and enjoy it. Until next time.
Hi, friends and fans. It's me, Christy. Okay, that's good. I'm new and scared, like a lost little baby bear cub in big spooky woods of streaming. But luckily, my mentors Snugs and Jane are here to guide me through with grace and wisdom and beauty and muscles and beauty again, but mostly muscles. Jane said I could promote my art and my D&D podcast. That's all I can say about that, because she also said that hogging the spotlight is selfish and ugly. So, thanks for everything, Snugs and Jane. This is Crispy, saying sayonara.
Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter at Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll. Follow us on Twitter at How We Roll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.